Now the 25, 30, 35, and he breaks into the open all the way out to the Knightstown 44. Check it. It was not Craig Ritchie. It was Ian Hayes. So Ian Hayes gets out to the Knightstown 43-yard line, and what great field position for the Knightstown Panthers to start things off.
Well, Ian Hayes picking up that ball and taking off and just had one man to beat her. He would have been on his way to the goal line. A great, great run back there by Ian.
First and 10 Panthers, 43-yard line, ball game just underway. Out of the backfield will come Ryan Johnson along with Drew Crawford. Ritchie will split wide to the left. Here's the snap. First man through is Ryan Johnson, and Johnson is taken down after a gain. Well, by golly, they're doing a great job faking because it was Drew Crawford. Excellent ball faking by Shyman.
Well, Eric Shyman, as he has all year, is really throwing everybody off guard, as even though we're a little far away from the action and couldn't see that actually, the Clinton Central football team didn't see it either, and it was a great fake by Eric Shyman.
Once again, Ritchie will split wide to the right this time. The tight end is Plank. He'll line up on the left side, and out of the full house backfield come the Panthers. Shyman under quiz. Last man through is Johnson. He's got a little bit of daylight, taken down after he gets out to the 47-yard line. And first man on the stop for Clinton Central is number 9, Matt Gilbert, the coach's son.
Ian Hayes really upended that time by one of the Clinton Central football players as he met that young man head on and just did nothing but a backward flip. So the Clinton Central football team come to play this evening.
3rd and 6 for the Knightstown Panthers. Ritchie will split wide to the left this time. Hayes in a slot formation on the left side. Quiz over the football. The Panthers await the snap. Here's senior Eric Shyman. Straight drop back. Looks to the left. Throws in the flat to Ritchie. He's got it. Stopped across midfield down to the 45 of Clinton Central. First down, Knightstown.
Great catch by Craig Ritchie, along with great footwork out there also. A pickup of 7 yards that time as Craig Ritchie caught the ball, faked right, then cut back to his left for a pickup of 7 yards.
7 yards on the catch by Craig Ritchie, and what a great way to start this thing. Knightstown looks very, very fired up. As we said, game just underway at the 10:30 mark of the first quarter. No score from Knightstown. The officials will put the ball down on the left side of the hash marks. Out of the T formation this time come the Panthers. Hayes, Ritchie, and Crawford out of the backfield. Knightstown on a long signal count. They give it on an inside handoff to Hayes. He's across the 44 down to the 43. And I think they'll probably mark forward motion at the 44-yard line, so he gets a gain of 1.
Well, let me tell you, Eric Shyman starting this game off with a great ability of not letting anyone know where the football is out there, as once again, Knightstown just moving down the field.
Stop on the play by Clinton Central Bulldog Curtis Kelly. So on the pickup of 2, brings up a 2nd and 8 for the Panthers with the ball sitting on the Clinton Central 43-yard line. Once again, Hayes will split wide to the left. Here's Shyman on a long signal count. It goes to Johnson, and he's hit in the backfield, and he's not going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Ryan Johnson's going to lose 2 on the play.
Ryan Johnson not able to run out there this evening because of that footing. I know that's the problem at the moment, as we may have to go to the air here shortly.
Kelly on the stop. Once again, 2 consecutive tackles for Curtis Kelly for the Bulldogs. So on the loss, brings up a 3rd and 10 for the Knightstown Panthers. Shyman over to the sidelines once again to get the play from Coach Don Willard. Now the ball sitting almost squarely in the middle of the football field. Knightstown going to our left, which would be to the west. They face a 3rd and 10 with 9 minutes to play in the opening quarter. Ritchie to the left. Out of the slot is Hayes. Shyman on a straight drop. Fakes the pass. Here's the rush. Shyman out of the pocket. Throws it up for grabs, and it's incomplete and out of bounds. So Knightstown's going to be forced to punt on good penetration by Clinton Central as Shyman set up in the pocket, tried to throw, but was flushed out of the pocket, and he tried to throw off of his back foot as he was running backwards, so he threw it out of bounds so nobody would intercept the football, so it brings up a 4th and 10.
Great coverage there by the Clinton Central defense as they had 2 pass rushers in there immediately on Eric Shyman, and that's all that he could do with the ball was Hail Mary it.
Well, here's our first punt of the night for Knightstown. Back to receive for the Bulldogs is Austin Faulkner. Josh Plank will do the punting. Snap is low. Here's the rush. Good kick by Plank. High kick, and Faulkner's going to let it bounce, and it takes the Clinton Central bounce and comes back to the 24-yard line. So that's where the Bulldogs and their high-powered offense will start their first offensive possession with 8:44 to play in the first.
Ben Brooks making a smart move there as that ball came down, and it started to take a Clinton Central bounce, and Ben got his hand on the ball, got it stopped, and got it down so that it wouldn't pick up any yardage at all for them.
We will see exactly how good Knightstown's defense is. We've been saying all season it's been stretched but not broken, and tonight Clinton Central will test the Panther defense very, very handily. One wideout splits wide to the left. That's Mark King. The quarterback is number 6, Mike Gilbert. Once again, the coach's son. Hands off to his brother, Matt. And Matt is across the 25. Might have got a gain of 1. Stop on the play quickly by number 66, Chapman, and also Drew Crawford.
Jason Chapman in there just making the grab instantly, as it looks to me like this Clinton Central offense can flat move quickly. So unless that was just a fluke there, we'll have to see, because they really got off that football quick.
Out of the backfield, Gilbert and Jason Lane. Lane's got 1,600 yards so far this season. Mike Gilbert, the quarterback, hands off to Lane around the left end. He is trapped in the backfield, but gets out across the 30. Wow. And is knocked out of bounds, and a big, big hit by Craig Ritchie.
Boy, Craig Ritchie just flat leveled that young man, and he knows he's been hit.
You know, are my eyes deceiving me, or does it look like those jerseys are mesh and they're a mid-drift?
Yes, they are.
Wow. Well,
tough football.
I guess. Ritchie gets the tackle after Lane picks up 6. So brings up a 3rd and 3. Clock running at 7:35 and counting, and the ball is right in front of the Knightstown bench, just across the 30 at the 31-yard line. Twin setback for the Bulldogs, Lane and Gilbert. Mike Gilbert, the quarterback, and in motion goes Craig Spray. They run to the left this time. It goes to Gilbert. Handoff. He's across and near the first down, near the 35-yard line.
Well, these running backs for Clinton Central seem to have found a way to run on this very mushy field, because they're coming off that football hard and quick.
Well, he's got enough for the first down, so they move the chain. Stop on the play that time by Kyle Rhodes. And Rhodes barely got a hand on Lane as he went over the left side. Got just enough for the first down. The ball sitting squarely on the 35-yard line. Once again, if you're not here, we're glad you're joining us on Young Country 90.7 FM or possibly Triax Cable Channel 18. No score from Knightstown. It's the regional championship, and in motion comes number 28, Lee Guffey. Fake on the handoff. It goes to Matt Gilbert, and he is stood straight up at the line of scrimmage by Kyle Rhodes. Also big number 75, Jim Carmichael on the stop, and on the bottom of the pile looked like Josh Plank was there.
No, they got right in on him that time. There was no room to run for the Bulldogs as they just were stood up at the line of scrimmage.
Also, Jim Carmichael gets his first stop on the night, and Josh Plank also along with his first tackle. 2nd and 10, no gain on the play. The ball right dead center in the middle of the football field between the hash marks on the Clinton Central 35. Clock down to 6:23 out of the I formation this time. They go to the second man through on a delayed handoff. It goes to Jason Lane, and Lane picks up 4 more.
In on the stop, Landon Collop for the Panthers, as Lane really rambling there that time.
And they'll spot the ball on the 34-yard line of the Bulldogs. And they give him a long 3. Brings up a 3rd and 7 should be. That's a very generous spot if they gave him 4. Big down for Knightstown. This could be a big turnaround here in the first quarter. Crowd comes to life. Gilbert on a snap, on a misdirection handoff. It comes to the left side to Gilbert. Tries to turn the corner. Knightstown's got him contained, and he's run out of bounds near midfield. But before he gets there, and there's a flag, unsportsmanlike conduct against Matt Gilbert as he ran out of bounds into the Knightstown bench. And they're going to throw a personal foul as he took and shoved one of the Knightstown players all the way back near the bench.
Uh-oh, and Daddy out over there. Look at Daddy across the field. Coach Gilbert is in shirt sleeves, ladies and gentlemen, with a tie on, and he is just a little upset with Matt Gilbert.
Well, now they reverse the call. Okay, thank you. Last week some people said, boy, you got on the officials awful bad, and I thought it was about time to get on that soapbox again because they said personal foul against Knightstown, but they signaled the wrong way, so it is a personal foul against Clinton Central. Knightstown will accept the penalty, and they'll mark off 15 big ones, so instead of 3rd and about 1, now it's going to be about 3rd and 17.
Well, Mike Gilbert just was run out of bounds. He couldn't turn the corner, and then for some reason just took the football and threw it chest pass-like at one of the Knightstown reserves. So got a little upset there.
They will spot the ball all the way back to the Clinton Central 29-yard line. So that will bring up a 4th down, loss of down. So now Clinton Central will punt, and to do the honors is number 5, Craig Spray, a senior, 5'11", 165, and back to receive for Knightstown are Hayes and Ritchie. Here's the snap. Knightstown with good rush, and Brooks almost got the block. Fair catch by Ritchie, and he takes it at the Knightstown 37.
And let me tell you, 2 of the Clinton Central Bulldogs were right there as soon as Craig Ritchie made the catch. So this team does have a little foot speed.
Ben Brooks got to within about 1.5 feet of the football of making another good block, and just couldn't quite get there. He got bumped at the line of scrimmage and knocked him off stride. Otherwise, he might have had a block. So at 5:34, Knightstown will get their second possession of the night. No score from the championship right here in beautiful, historic Knightstown. Panthers on the drive with Ritchie splitting wide to the right. And out of the slot on the right side once again is Ian Hayes. Knightstown will line up in the power eye this time. The down back is Johnson, or actually Crawford. The tailback is Johnson. Scheiman on a pass across the middle. Ritchie's got it at the 47-yard line.
Great catch there by Craig Ritchie. The ball was just thrown a little bit behind Craig, but he still made the grab and started to turn it upfield. A pickup of 8 yards that time on the pass play from Scheiman to Ritchie.
Well, both passes that have been completed have been to Craig Ritchie across on a fly pattern from the right side across to the left, and he pulls it in for 9 big yards. They back it up a couple of yards. Actually, they give him an extra yard, so instead of 2nd and 2, it's 2nd and 1.
Thank you very much.
And out of the eye once again, it's Scheiman under Quiz. Crawford on the handoff. He's got the first down. They throw him back, but his forward motion, I think, is going to be enough for the Knightstown first down. That's going to be their second on the night, if that's the case.
You know, Drew Crawford's been just a little quiet this evening, and I'm looking for him to take off here in just a second.
Well, you can't keep Drew down. Now they're going to bring the chains in for an official measure. So Crawford got extremely close, and from your vantage point, it looks like you may have the best position there, Lee, but I've got the binocular, so let's see if we can break these things and dial these puppies in.
Okay, it looks like if, unless that guy's running sideways, that we got a first down out there.
By
I
about
can't tell for sure.
Half the length of the football.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's Knightstown's second, so the drive will be sustained. No score between the Bulldogs and the Panthers. And the field looking just a little bit worse for wear right in the middle of the field, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's really getting grungy down there.
You know, one of the best football games I ever played in my life, there was mud. The ball weighed about 25 pounds, and it was one of the best times. So I think the kids are not going to be affected by the mud.
I don't think they are. They like to play in that stuff.
Full house backfield now for Knightstown. Scheiman on a long signal count on a quick pitch. It comes to Ryan Johnson. He tries to turn the corner, does, and picks up 3 yards as he gets near the 47, maybe the 46-yard line of the Panthers.
Ryan Johnson finally getting his feet under him out there this evening, and if he could have just turned it up there a little bit going upfield, I think he could have gotten about 4 or 5 more yards, but just couldn't get the corner turned on that Clinton Central defense.
Well, he picks up 4 yards, brings up a 2nd and 6, as Johnson, as you said, just couldn't turn the corner, get a full head of speed. Knightstown on the move, the ball sitting on the 46-yard line of the Panthers. Once again, Crawford, Hayes, and Johnson out of the backfield. Plank will line up as a tight end on the right side. Clock showing 3:45, delayed handoff. It goes to Hayes. He tries to break and is caught in the backfield and thrown for what looks to be about a 5-yard loss.
Alston Faulkner in on the stop for the Bulldogs, as there is nowhere to run out there for Ian Hayes on that particular play.
Also Petrie in on the stop for the Bulldogs. So instead of going forward, that time Ian Hayes got caught in the backfield, lost 5. So that will bring up a long 3rd and 11. Now the ball all the way back to the Knightstown 41-yard line. Eric Scheiman has got the play from Coach Don Willard, as he does each and every series. Comes over, chats with the coach, and then runs back. And again, I'd like to have a pedometer on him to see how many miles he runs in a course of a night.
Scare you to death.
3rd and 11 for the Panthers. 3 minutes to play in the opening quarter. Scheiman waits the snap from Quiz. Straight drop back, out of the pocket, he's flush, double clutch, throws, he's got a man in the flat, it's Hayes, he's up to the 45, the 47, and Bulldogs his way to the 48-yard line.
Ian Hayes coming back out at that time and getting a nice little pickup there, but we're in a situation now where we've got a 4th and 5, looks like, or something like that out there, so we're bringing on the kicking unit, looks like.
We only got 7 yards on the pass play, but it's not going to be quite enough, so Plank will come in once again. Clinton Central had a good rush last time that Plank put the ball in the air. Back to receive for the Bulldogs, number 34, Austin Faulkner. Also number 28, Lee Guffey. Knightstown needs a good snap right here. And they've got it. Plank, no rush this time, fumbles the football, picks it up, starts to run with it. And Plank's got some running room, but he's going to run out of territory. As he's taken down, it's going to be very, very close. And depending upon the spot, Josh Plank might have turned a broken play. And nope, he's going to be about a half a yard short. Half a yard short.
You know, that ball was slick out there. The snap was just a little high, and Josh, I think, anticipating the run again also that he faced a while ago on that kick, just couldn't get the handle on it and had to pick it up and run with it.
Well, it looked like the snap was high, but it looked like he had time to handle it. There was no rush. In fact, he fumbled the football, picked it up, and still picked up 4 yards all the way to the left side. So with 2:03 to play, Clinton Central having very good field position at the 49.5 of the Bulldogs. Out of an I formation, the down back is Gilbert. The up back is Lane. Inside handoff to Gilbert. And it's Austin Faulkner on the carry. He's across midfield down to the Knightstown 49, so he picks up 2. Stop on the play by Drew Crawford and also Plank.
Jason Chapman in there also on the stop that time as the Knightstown defensive unit really trying to key on this offense, but it's tough going out there, I think, with the elements and the field.
2nd and 8. Knightstown looks like they're trying to dig in, but the footing is very, very treacherous as they have got over to the right side of the muddy area right now and should be a little bit better for both squads. Out of the slot formation this time, Lane on a misdirection handoff will come to the left side, and he is caged by Knightstown, and he picks up 3 more down to the Knightstown 46. And he's run out of bounds by Chapman along with Drew Crawford. Also in on the stop, Craig Ritchie. So Ritchie picks up his 2nd, Crawford gets his 3rd, and Chapman gets his 4th tackles for the Knightstown Panthers. So he picks up 2 more, 3rd and 5 for the Bulldogs. We are down to 1 minute to play in regional action between Knightstown and Clinton Central. Now the Knightstown crowd comes to life. 2 wideouts to the left, and Mike Gilbert, the quarterback's liable to air this one out. Knightstown gets back, nearly jumps off sides, and now timeout is called by Mike Gilbert before the snap. So with that, let's take a quick 30-second break. You're listening to Panther Football on Young Country 90.7 FM. We're back at Knightstown, and 44 seconds were all that remained between the Bulldogs and the Knightstown Panthers here in the first quarter of play. Big, big play for the Bulldogs after quarterback Mike Gilbert saw something he did not like, calls a timeout, gets the play from Dad, comes back in as Knightstown digs in. Misdirection play, it goes to the right side. Knightstown's going to stop the running game short of the first down, and on the carry looked like Kurt Rawlings.
Matt Gilbert, the ball carrier.
Well, they say Gilbert, but that's the wrong number. It was Rawlings. So Knightstown's going to get the football back after facing a 4th and 2, and we'll see if Clinton Central wants to punt or possibly go for it. They've got a play from the sidelines brought in by Lee Guffey. Knightstown not so sure that they're going to punt. Hayes and Ritchie started to drop back, but now they come back up to the line of scrimmage, and Clinton Central's going to go for it on 4th and 2.
Well, this, as Coach Gilbert alluded to earlier, this could be a big turning point in this game, a play of this nature.
We will see what happens. Broken play. Gilbert's got it. He's not going to get the first down. Knightstown holds. Misdirection play. It was a broken play from the get-go, and Kyle Rhodes was there to say, now, baby, now.
Kyle Rhodes jumping in there and making a big, big stop this time for the Panthers, as if that could have gone over, there'd have been a big problem.
Well, I tell you what, the way the official was looking at the football, he was very generous in the spot, and I thought for a moment he was going to say first down, and he was short by a good half yard.
Well, the Knightstown Panthers making a big play here as the quarter has wound down out there on the clock, and we're going to see what's going to happen here. I think it's time for the change.
Time for the change. So on that, we will take a 1-minute break. You are listening to Roll Off Power. The scoreboard went out, as did the lights. But we are back. Too many watts for your amp meter, I guess. But we're back in operation here. So Knightstown on the loss, facing a 2nd and 13. Out of a slot formation to the right side. This time comes Hayes. Here's a quick pitch to Ryan Johnson. He's got lead blocking. Turns the corner across midfield. Stays on their feet into the secondary and taken out of bounds at the Clinton Central 43-yard line, maybe the 42.
In on the stop, Matt Gilbert for the Bulldogs, but not until Ryan Johnson has picked up 11 big yards for the Panthers and a first down.
That's been Ryan Johnson's bread and butter, running around left and right in. Most favorably the right side. He had 3 big blockers out in front of him. and they got the first down, so that is their third first down in the ball game, and they've only had one per possession.
Well, the Knightstown Panthers getting ready to put it into action again.
11-10 here in the quarter, no score. Shyman takes a snap from Quiz. Fakes to the first man, it goes to Johnson. He stutter steps, gets across the line of scrimmage, across the 35, falls forward to the 34-yard line, so give him a gain of 2.
You know, I think just from viewing what I have of this defensive unit at the moment, if we put that ball in the air a little bit and can hang on to it, they are keying on our running backs. Yeah, tremendously. And if we can come up with a pass or two here, we're going to knock their socks off.
Yeah, the problem is going to be hanging onto the football and also good grip for Eric Shyman as he tries to throw the ball. And really, Joe Quiz, the center, having a good handle on the football as he snaps it to Shyman.
Yes.
2nd and 8 facing the Knightstown Panthers. Hayes will come in motion to the right side, this time toward Ritchie. Quick pitch, face, misdirection, handoff, and it goes to Ryan Johnson, and he is near the 30-yard line. He gets 4 more.
Ryan Johnson being hit out there by Robbie Petrie, who is a freshman playing at 6 foot, 165 pounds.
Also, Big Bart Cole, number 75, a 5'10", 190-pound defensive lineman. He's a senior as he tries to stop Johnson as he scampers near the 30-yard line. The ball just shy of the 30. Brings up a 3rd and 5. No score between the Bulldogs and Knightstown. Now both Hayes and Crawford will split out of the twin setback. Here's Shyman on a straight drop. Pumps once, throws it up high. Ritchie's there. It's intercepted. Nope, incomplete.
Ooh, very close there. Mike Gilbert almost pulling that ball in, but he ran into one of his fellow players out there and fumbled the football.
Well, Craig Ritchie, as good as he is, was no match for Gilbert. Gilbert much bigger at 6'3", and Craig Ritchie standing a mere 5'9". So that brings up a 4th and 5 for Knightstown.
Eric throwing into the trees that time. Should have gotten that ball up a little bit if we could have gotten Ritchie down the road a little ways.
Well, it looks like Knightstown may punt. They don't want to give Clinton Central the football in good field position again. So Knightstown debating. Plank will come back to punt this time as Shyman out of the backfield will block for Plank on the punt, and now Plank will call a timeout. He sees something he doesn't like.
Timeout, Knightstown.
They had 11 men on the field, and I'm not sure exactly what the call is.
I think maybe it was called by the coaches because Coach Willard going out on the field immediately just as soon as the referees reacted, so I think that was called in by the coaches.
Well, that's Knightstown's first. Also, Clinton Central has burned 1, so both teams still have 2 remaining here in the first half of action. 9:41 on the game clock. And again, this overflow crowd on their feet cheering. And we're looking down toward the concession stand. And this is very reminiscent of homecoming in last weekend. My guess is there's probably between 26 to 2,800 people here.
Well, let me tell you something. The Clinton Central faithful are packed over for this one also. It's huge over there.
It looked like they had 300 people, and all of a sudden, a horde of people poured in, and I'd say, they now maybe total 1,000.
I think a lot of them were sitting in their car waiting for game time. They didn't want to face the elements any longer than what they had to, and they came in.
Knightstown ready to punt. Plank will line up behind Shyman. Awaits a long snap. Last time we had a fumble. Here comes the pressure. Plank angles for the sideline, and Knightstown's not going to get it. And it was very close. Brooks was down there, but it's going to be a touchback.
I thought sure we'd go the opposite direction on that kick to the other sideline. That would have given him some more room, but couldn't get her there.
That's why you're up here, not down there, I guess.
So.
All right, on the alternating possession or change of possession, I guess I should say. 9:37 to play. No one has crossed pay dirt as of yet. Knightstown has had good series, but they can't sustain a drive. They can pick up 1 first down per drive, and that's about it. Same thing with Clinton Central.
Well, both these teams pretty well evenly matched at the moment. Let's see if that conditioning can pay off for the Panthers.
Out of the backfield, once again, comes Jason Lane and Gilbert behind quarterback Mike Gilbert. First man through gets the football, and Gilbert will hang on to it. Good fake by Gilbert as he turns it upfield and is near the 20-yard line.
Very lucky that time. I thought maybe Joe Quiz got in there just a little late. I'm glad we didn't get a flag off that. Joe not trying to hit anybody, but rolled over the top of one of the Clinton Central players after that ball was down. Ooh, could have been nasty.
Quarterback Mike Gilbert on a quarterback keeper rolls to the left side, picks up a half a yard, brings up a 2nd and 9, a long 9. Clock shows 9:05 and counting. Once again, Gilbert under center. Out of the backfield comes Mark Gilbert along with Jason Lane. Nice ball faking by Mike Gilbert. Flag in the backfield. This one's going to be motion against Clinton Central.
Yep, the back started there before anything happened.
Jason Lane moved just a little too quickly. And this one will be marked off against Clinton Central. And Coach Willard says, take them east, boys. Take them east.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I know somebody that's going to have to straighten up this evening. Dave Livingston's wife just showed up, so he'll change his attitude.
Oh, me. Illegal motion is the official call, so Knightstown will mark this one off. And it will go back to, well, let's see, they haven't stopped walking yet. They're down to the 15, and that's where they'll finally stop. So it's going to be a 2nd and 15 instead of 2nd and 7.
Well, the defense here can really put the hold on them if they will and get this ball back into some good territory down here for the Panthers.
Once again, Gilbert and Lane lining up in the backfield. Misdirection handoff. Now Gilbert rolls the pass, throws it out in the flat. Flag on the play. He's got a receiver, and he's knocked out of bounds by Ben Brooks and Drew Crawford. But there's another flag on the play, and I'm not sure what it is. It was thrown all the way back in the Knightstown secondary. Could be defensive holding or possibly interference, so we'll wait for the call. And it is holding against Knightstown.
Penalty flag on the play. Well, those are the type penalties that we cannot commit against a team of this caliber, and this is hopefully maybe the last one of the holding penalties we'll see by the Panthers this evening.
Well, we'll see what happens here. Knightstown, again, having good containment, but the receiver was wide open on the right flat. And now they will make the call. Are they going to accept the penalty, or are they going to take the play?
Holding against the Panthers.
And I believe they will mark the penalty off. If this is the case, it may be just enough for the first down, so we'll have to wait and see where the official spot is. They will back it up all the way at the 20. Well, now they'll back it up to the 15. That was the original line of scrimmage, and here goes the official with the mark off. There's 5, there's 10, and they will stop now on the 30-yard line, so that helps a little bit, but it's still not going to be quite enough for Clinton Central's first down. So it's going to bring up, instead of a 2nd and long, is a 2nd and 5, and that makes it just a little bit easier. Knightstown's faithful starts to rise to the occasion as Gilbert comes up under center. Lane and brother Mark Gilbert out of the backfield. Mike Gilbert back to pass, flushed out of the pocket across the middle, and he overthrows the intended receiver.
Well, I am very glad that Mr. Gilbert didn't look to his left, because there was a big wide receiver out here who's got the muddiest shirt I've ever seen. I can't find his number, but Craig Spray was wide open.
Sure was. Somebody missed an assignment. Craig Spray was out here right in front of the Knightstown bench, and there was nobody within 20 yards of him.
And the only person that could have made the tackle on him would have been Coach Willard, but he's nothing like Woody Hayes, so I don't think he would have done that.
You got to give good credit to Kyle Rhodes and also Chapman as they pressured Gilbert to throw the football. Big down now for Knightstown. 3 wideouts. As Mike Gilbert under center. Handoff, it goes to the backfield. Knightstown's got containment, and they're going to deny. First man to make contact is Drew Crawford, and they stop the play on the 30, maybe the 31-yard line, so that's going to bring up a 4th and about 6, and now Clinton Central will send in the punting unit.
Great defensive stand by the Knightstown Panthers as they pushed the running back to the right. He had nowhere to go except out of bounds when he was pushed there by the Panthers. So Drew Crawford and company in on the big stop.
Hayes and Ritchie back to receive the punt as Craig Spray will line up at about the 15. Here's the snap. Knightstown comes with pressure, and once again Brooks gets close as the ball bounces, goes across midfield, and will stop at the Knightstown 40. And that's where the Panthers will take over with 7:37 to play.
The Knightstown Panthers really putting on the defensive stops that time, and this could really be a turning point as both these guys go both ways. A lot of them do, and the Panthers could really put on a march after a defensive stand like that.
Well, looking at Clinton Central, we talked about conditioning, but I don't know that conditioning is going to play a big fact tonight. Clinton Central looks to be in what could be the best condition that we've seen this year.
Well, they possibly could be, but we'll just have to wait and see here as the evening progresses.
7:37, Knightstown's football on their own 40-yard line. Once again, out of the backfield comes Hayes and Crawford. Crawford, the down back. Here's a pitch to Johnson around the right side. The sweep is wide. They turn it inside. Johnson's got 5, maybe 6, and is taken out of bounds. And Knightstown... Travis Rivers makes a great stop on the official. Now the official's got mud all over his pretty white pants.
And he's trying to figure out how many wheels were on that semi when it ran into him.
You may show the crowd you're not embarrassed, but I got binoculars, and his face is as red as a beet.
Travis Rivers just blew his air horns when he went up there.
Ryan Johnson gets 5 on the carry, 2nd and 5 for Knightstown. The ball at the Knightstown 46. Out of the slot to the right is Hayes. Scheinman on the snap, misdirection handoff, goes to Johnson. He's across the line, he's got 3, maybe 4. Falls forward, goes across the 47, maybe to the 48.
Nick Roush in there trying to opening up running room for the backs and is really just busting over that line as quickly as possible.
Travis Cochran on the stop for the Bulldogs. Pickup of 2 more for Ryan Johnson. So it brings up a 3rd and 3. And the ball on the Knightstown 48-yard line. Clock showing 7:02 and counting before half. This one is still scoreless. We're glad you joined us. It's going to be a good one. You can tell, and you knew it from the outset. Scheinman this time with 2 wide outs to the left. Crawford is down. Johnson is up. Here's a snap on a quick pitch. They've got the sweep to the left side. Johnson turns it up. He's got the first down. Stays on his feet. Falls all the way to the 45-yard line.
Ryan Johnson once again doing the thing that has really upset a lot of teams this year. He is able to cut back. So many running backs will get to going to their right or left and just continue that same path, but Ryan Johnson has that ability to make a cut, and it really throws people off.
Well, Ryan Johnson's ankle evidently not bothering him at all. Well, not a kind spot. Still enough for the first down, but now they move it all the way back to the 47-yard line, so we'll take it. 1st and 10, Knightstown. That's their 4th first down of the ball game. And this time a full house backfield for the Panthers. Scheinman takes a snap from Quiz. They come to the right side. First man through is Hayes. He's into the flat and taken down.
Ian Hayes carrying the ball very well for the Panthers that time on a quick handoff, and scared me for a second there. Ian got bent back on his left leg, but was able to withstand the pressure and picks up a great amount of yardage there for the Panthers, calling it 8 yards that time on the carry by Ian Hayes.
They'll spot the ball at the Clinton Central 40. Brings up a 2nd and long 2 for the Knightstown squad. And Hayes again running with that head down. He is so elusive, so hard to tackle, and he just can't be grabbed. It's like a slippery eel out there.
Well, more especially tonight with these ground conditions as they are.
Ritchie comes wide to the right. Now Ritchie calls timeout before the play can develop as they burn another one. And again, I don't understand this, as Ritchie saw something he didn't like. So Knightstown will take their 2nd timeout. We will do the same quick 30-second break. You're listening to Panther Football on Young Country 90.7 FM.
With 5:30 left to play here in this quarter, the Knightstown Panthers moving right along as the offense has come to the forefront, I believe, after that big defensive stand, and starting to move that football once again.
We are just about set for action to resume after the Knightstown timeout. Scheinman up to the line of scrimmage. He's got a full house backfield once again in Hayes, Crawford, and Johnson. Johnson gets the call. He's got the first down and more as Ryan Johnson stays on his feet, crosses the 40, maybe to the 39. First down, Panthers.
You know, one thing I'm starting to see out there, just in this series of plays, coming off the football, I believe those running backs for Knightstown are a lot sharper.
Yeah, I think they're hitting the holes a lot quicker, but you got to give credit to that big offensive line as they are blowing and making some big holes for Knightstown. And, of course, that in the way of Ryan Johnson, Hayes, and Drew Crawford.
Well, that's right. Nick Roush out there also just trying to open things up for the Panthers.
Johnson gets 4 more, so it brings up a 1st and 10. Panthers with the ball on the Clinton Central, well, I think it's a 34. And here goes Crawford. He's through into the secondary, stays on his feet down near the 25. Crawford on a big second effort.
Drew Crawford cutting back a little bit to his left after going right that time and really catching the secondary off guard for the Clinton Central Bulldogs.
7 yards on the play for Drew Crawford. So it brings up a 2nd and 3, and that's the kind of position you want to put yourself in. Not 2nd and long, not 3rd and long, but 2nd and short. Ball sitting on the Clinton Central 25, clock down to 4:30, no score from the regional championship between the Panthers and the Bulldogs. Here come the Panthers to the right side. Hayes has got it, stays on his feet, and he's going to be stood up and thrown for a loss, but they will spot forward progress at about the line of scrimmage. Now Knightstown being warned by the referee, quit the taunting and quit the trash talking, but it looked like Clinton Central is doing some of their own.
Well, 3 men there pushing Ian Hayes back and really drilling in there, so I don't know. It's got to go both ways.
Well, Knightstown, again, as we talked about, 2nd and short, now 3rd and short, so a lot easier to pick up 2 or 3 yards than it is 7 or 8. So Knightstown needs 3 to keep this drive alive and try to score first on Clinton Central. 3rd and 1. They gave Hayes 2 yards on the play. So Knightstown looking to try to get the first down. Here's Scheinman on a quick pitch. It goes to Hayes. Ryan Johnson. He's got a head of steam, falls forward, and I think he's got the first down.
Well, I certainly hope he has. I was almost expecting Eric Scheinman that time to maybe do a sneak on that one because they were really playing off the line over the quarterback, so we'll have to wait and see.
Well, they're going to say the chains come on over, but it looks to me like he's got the first down.
I thought he fell across the line, and
well, the yard marker was short of the 25, and depending upon where they spotted it, we can't see it because it's right in front of the Knightstown bench, but it looked like, as you said, he was across the 25, so this could be a moot point, but we'll wait and see momentarily. Clock down to 3:38, and here it is, and Knightstown's got it, you betcha.
First down, Knightstown, with 3:38 left to play in this second quarter of action.
The drive will continue for the Knightstown Panthers. 1st and 10, ball just inside the 25, about the 24.5. And Knightstown again signaling the plays from Coach Don Willard as he sends them in via Eric Scheinman. Knightstown trying to get the ball across the goal line before halftime. They've got 3:28 and counting to do so. Knightstown a little bit confused on an offensive set this time. Scheinman up to the line. Finally, they get down in the 3-point stance. Long signal count, and Knightstown jumps offside. Jason Chapman jumped first.
You know, the Knightstown, when they come up to the line a lot this evening, they're looking over at Clinton Central setup like it's really throwing them off. I don't see anything unusual from up here.
That was a design play. Did you notice how Eric Scheinman changed his cadence and did a hard one? And Clinton Central jumped, but the problem was Chapman moved first. So on the motion penalty, it's going to be a 1st and 15 with the 10-yarder. So instead of oh, well, what the heck. 1st and 15, 3:05 to play. Now Knightstown a little bit more deliberate with the play calling this time. Scheinman rolls to the right. He's got Ritchie in the flat, throws one up for grabs, and Hayes extends himself. Can't pull it in as he was laid horizontal at the 15.
Ian Hayes not afraid to stretch out after that football, had his fingertips on it, but just couldn't get to it to pull it in.
You know, we're seeing something that we haven't seen all season, and that is Eric Scheinman being pressured more than anybody has done that to him, as he has been in the pocket, tries to get set up to throw, and the next thing you know, he's flushed to the right, and he's trying to throw on the run. He almost made a good pass within a yard or two, and Hayes would have had it, but on the incompletion brings up a 2nd and 15. Now both Hayes and Ritchie will split wide to the left. The tight end will line up on the right side, that being Josh Plank. The down back is Crawford. Johnson is the up back. Here's a pitch. They'll run a sweep to the left side. Johnson turns and is caught in the backfield, and Johnson's going to lose another 5 yards.
Ryan Johnson could not get out of the containment of that defensive unit as they just pulled it toward it.
Well, he's brought down by number 67, Josh Archibald. So Knightstown going the wrong way. Now it's 3rd and 20. So the Panthers adding to the injury here as they are going the wrong direction. Now Scheinman obviously is going to put the ball up in the air, but they've got to be careful because Clinton Central has been almost near every pass that Scheinman has eyed so far.
Looks like the officials are calling for the clock to stop there.
Not sure what the call is. The officials talking to Knightstown. Now the referee will talk with the other officials, and they will confer with the sideline official. Not sure what the call is here. Nothing really transpired or happened, so they'll come over and talk to Coach Don Willard, and let's see if we can zoom in with these binoculars. And the official trying to explain to Coach Don Willard and the staff, I think they need to put some time back on the clock. Should be 2:34 on the clock instead of 2:19. 2:34 on the clock. There's 2:24. There we go. Now we've got it set. Time expired, evidently, and the officials caught it, so that was heads-up play. 2:24 and a half. No score from Knightstown. Now the clock will begin with the official signal. Knightstown in a passing situation. 2 wideouts. Scheinman drops straight back, pumps once, forced out of the pocket, lets it go. Hayes is there, and it's incomplete. Nearly intercepted by Craig Spray.
Good coverage there by the Bulldog spray as he was all over that football that time.
That time Eric Scheinman got the taste of the turf as he was dropped all the way back to the Knightstown 40. So it brings up a 4th and 20, and now Josh Plank will come in and hopefully try to hang one high and not get a touchback to try to pin Clinton Central back in their own territory. Knightstown exchanging players quickly as Plank will come in and get ready to set up in punt formation. Ball sitting to the left side of the hash marks. Plank will punt at about the 45. Knightstown taking a lot of time. Here's the snap. Here's the rush. Plank hits a good one, hangs one up. Collop is there, and it takes a Knightstown bounce. Stops at the 4.5-inch line. What do you know? Give credit to a very soggy field. It's about the length of the football away from the goal line. The ball hit. It was like a golf ball burying up in a green. Stuck, sat there. Collop was able to get it down because Collop was not going to catch the football, and the ball waited on Landon Collop that time.
Well, Landon Collop really getting a good break that time as that ball was able to be downed, and it's going to be a long way down the field for the Clinton Central Bulldogs.
99.5 yards to go for Clinton Central with 2:03. Collop was on an all-out run, but just couldn't catch it. And I guess sometimes it pays to have a rabbit's foot, huh?
Well, it absolutely does, as Clinton Central now getting ready to put the ball into action with 2:03 left to play in the second quarter.
Lane and Gilbert out of the backfield behind junior quarterback Mike Gilbert on a quarterback sneak. Nothing doing, although he gets good yardage. Rhodes is there, Bonowitz is there, and they ride him down after he picks up about 3 yards on the play. Richie in on the tackle as well.
You know, he's 6'3", but only weighs 180 pounds, but he must be all muscle because he was carrying quite a few linemen that time.
Kyle Rhodes gets his 3rd tackle after Gilbert gets 4, brings up a 2nd and 6. And that was a good play to get you out of some dangerous territory that time. And as you said, Gilbert's a pretty good-sized young man. 2nd and 6 now for Clinton Central. Once again, Mark Gilbert and Josh Lane line up behind junior quarterback Mike Gilbert. Here's a delayed handoff. It goes to brother Mark, and he is grabbed and popped by Craig Ritchie after a pickup of about 2 more.
Craig Ritchie on the tackle for Knightstown.
And it brings up a 3rd and about 3. We're down to a minute 4. And if Knightstown can sustain this defensive pressure, they will go to the locker room tied as no one has scored in the regional championship as of yet.
Tough football game out here tonight.
One play can decide this one. All right, 3rd and 2 for Clinton Central. Gilbert, long signal count, trying to draw Knightstown off, can't do it, and has to call timeout.
Good move by the Knightstown players. They weren't actually going offside. You could tell they were just taking a step at the ball, and it threw Gilbert off enough that he thought maybe better call a halt to things.
Well, I'm telling you what, we've got a space heater up here. You and I both look like the Michelin Man in our Carhartts. And here comes head coach George Gilbert off the sidelines with a short sleeve shirt on and no jacket.
You know what those players call him?
What, sir? Anything he wants them to.
That's right.
That's right. It's clocked down to 42 seconds here in the first half. Knightstown and Clinton Central locked up in a good one. And if you're not able to come out to the game tonight, we wish you could have been here, but I'm not sure you'd have had any place to sit, as it would have been standing room only.
It's pretty deep down there in the standing room only area,
yes, it is. So we're glad you're there either on radio or television. Your choice, not really important, although we know we're up against IU basketball tonight. So turn the tube on, mute it, and turn on the radio and listen to exciting high school football action at its finest. Knightstown, of course, only 2 games away from the state championship in the RCA Dome, but they've got to get by Clinton Central first. Right now, not having much luck as the scoreless game is down to 42 seconds left before half. 3 wideouts this time for Clinton Central. Gilbert takes it on another quarterback sneak. He's into the backfield of into the secondary now for Knightstown, and he gets the first down. Picks up 9 yards on a quarterback sneak, and that's what we saw Eric Scheinman do about 4 weeks ago, and he got 45 yards on it.
Jim Carmichael finally able to bring him down out there, coming off the line and going with the quarterback and bring him down, but not before he picked up some real good yardage there.
Now it's 1st and 10, clock showing 35 seconds and counting. Now they'll start it. Once again, Knightstown not stopping that possession, and now Gilbert will pass. Looks deep, pumps, throws it across the middle, and it's incomplete. And Drew Crawford was about 6 yards soft on the intended receiver, and if that pass had been on the money, that would have been big yardage.
Yes, we've got to get on those guys. At this level, you cannot play that far off of those receivers because they're going to burn you.
Incomplete pass brings up a 2nd and 10, and now the clock will stop at 22 seconds. As the coaching staff for Knightstown starting to signal what defensive strategy they want to put in this time. And Knightstown again will go with a 4-man rush. The outside defensive end this time will line up in Ben Brooks along with Landon Collop. The middle linebacker is Kyle Rhodes. On the other end, the defensive end is Josh Plank along with Drew Crawford. 22 seconds, Gilbert on a handoff. And he breaks through, and Knightstown's going to have to stop him. Luckily, Adam Bonowitz was there, but not before Gilbert gets all the way out across the 30-yard line. And Knightstown not looking good on this possession.
No, they're not. Big pickup there by Gilbert as he's really moving off of that football.
Well, I think they're going to have to make some adjustments at halftime. They've got 15 seconds to go in and try to warm up a little bit, try to correct some of the problems. Coach already talking to Coach Scott Stanley and saying, look, here's what we're going to have to do at halftime. Now coming into the game, number 65, Nick Roush.
I'll make it 3rd down inches.
And Knightstown's going to have to hurry. They've got too many men on the field. Now Chapman gets off. And now the officials decide to bring the chains out, so we'll have an official measurement. They will spot the football, and they are going to be short by about a half a yard. So it brings up 3rd and 1 as Clinton Central breaks the huddle, gets up to the line of scrimmage, and the officials are not quite ready yet. Clock will start on the official signal. There it is. Clock rolls at 14, down to 12. Gilbert takes a snap, looks to the right, looks to the left, pressured. He's got a pass. He's got a receiver out of the backfield. That's Jeremy Lennon. And Lennon is out of bounds at the Clinton Central 42-yard line with 2 seconds left.
Adam Bonowitz moving over to make the stop, but not before great yardage is picked up there, and there again. We are not containing the wide receivers out there on this team, and we have got to get in those people's face.
Well, I think Knightstown has dodged a bullet here because Clinton Central looking very, very potent on the pass offense. Knightstown's passing defense leaving a little bit to be desired here. 2 seconds left. This should be the last play of the first half, barring a miracle Hail Mary. Gilbert under the center, takes a snap, straight drop back, looks to throw deep, airs one out in the flat. There's a flag on the play. It's incomplete. The half is over, but the half cannot end on a penalty. Knightstown's going to decline it regardless of whatever it is. So the half is over. The officials will confer. They will bring co-captain Joe Quiz and Kyle Rhodes and Crawford out. It's holding against Clinton Central. And Knightstown will decline. So that's going to be the end of the first half. It is a scoreless first half from Knightstown. This one's everything we expected it to be. 0-0. We'll take a 3-minute timeout and come back for some unofficial yet lackluster stats from the Panther Field. You're listening to Knightstown Panther football on Young Country 90.7 FM. No score from the regional championship final between the Knightstown Panthers and the Clinton Central Bulldogs. And we were just talking before we came back on air. Not many stats to really report. Poor Ryan Johnson has been running himself ragged. He has rushed for 11 yards, and what would you think that he had here at the half?
I have no idea, really.
Well, believe it or not, he had a good half. He only has 18 yards. And the problem is he was thrown for a 5-yard loss and a 2-yard loss, and that cuts into that average. 11 rushes for only 18 yards. The other big back for Knightstown, Drew Crawford, quiet tonight. 3 attempts for only 12 yards. Ian Hayes on the other side has had a decent half as he is 6 for 16 yards. And Josh Plank is 1 for 4 yards after he picked up that fumble and rambled 4 yards to try to get the first down and came up a yard short.
Well, you know, this footing out here is treacherous, but the defensive unit of Clinton Central really getting through the line better than anybody I've seen this year against Knightstown's offensive line. But, again, that may be attributed to the weather, but nevertheless, they're doing it.
Yeah, it's being done regardless. In the passing department, Knightstown not having a real good night. 42% is what Eric Scheinman is, 3 of 7 for only 22 yards. And those 22 yards went to Craig Rich. He's got a pair for 15 yards. And Ian Hayes has caught 1 for 7. So really not much to talk about as far as the stat in the passing department. But Knightstown's going to have to make some adjustments. Only had 2 penalties against the Panthers in the first half, 2 for 10 yards. We talked about the pass defense, and we saw in that last possession that Clinton Central, when they make their mind up and they decide to throw the football, Knightstown is playing too soft on the corners, and they've got the problems that they've had all season long on the 6 to 8 yard reception area.
Well, that's absolutely right. It's as if we wanted them to catch it so we could go ahead and hit them real hard. But I think if we played up on them a little bit and gave them a few fits on the receiving end of it, that we'd be in a lot better shape.
Well, Knightstown had a big break as they took the ball down near the 20-yard line, and Knightstown couldn't do much with it. And a big penalty took Knightstown out of a big play or possibility of a big play. Although they did have 7 first downs in the first half, they were unable to capitalize on any of them. And thus we have our nothing score here with 10 minutes to go, getting ready to start in the second half of action.
Official as the secondary and the receivers for the Clinton Central Bulldogs set to catch that ball, as this crowd is really starting to fire up now. The second half of action starting with this third quarter, 12 minutes as Kyle comes in and makes the kick. It's a good going over the first line of defense and out of bounds. That looks like at about the 38-yard line, so we'll be kicking her over again, I believe.
Yeah, they'll tee it up again. Again, Kyle trying to shoot for the sidelines, and with this field, it's not going to bite and stick, I wouldn't imagine. So Knightstown will bring it all the way back. Well, now, no, they're going to say that Clinton Central's going to decline the penalty, so they want the football. They've got good field position, and it's going to be in the Clinton Central 37.
Looks like about 37-yard line of Clinton Central as the Knightstown defensive unit gets set to go here. Clinton Central getting set as Mike Gilbert calls the signals out there again. The handoff is made to the first man through over the left side. And we have a fumble. Ben Brooks of the Knightstown Panthers picks up the fumble. So the Panthers coming out with that third quarter burst that they have all season, looking fresh, looking tanned, and ready to play football. Come to daddy. Knightstown will be taking over the ball on their own 40, or on the Clinton Central 40-yard line, Got a little excited there as Knightstown making a big play and Ben Brooks making that play for the Panthers. So Eric Shyman bringing the Knightstown offensive unit up to the line, working out of a double setback as Shyman calls the signals. Long count, handoff to the first man through, and he is stacked up right at the line. Many of the Clinton Central.
What a collision. Ryan Johnson hit Robbie Petrie head on, and Petrie went down like a sack of potatoes. And now Petrie's going out of the ball game as he is woozy.
Yes, let me see. What day is this? That kid was really hit there. Both Johnson and the defender hitting head on. It could have been either man going to the sidelines with that particular hit.
Goodness. And he is down on the sidelines, and he's being attended to. Could be a shoulder as he is leaning to the right. Pick up of 1, however.
Ball at the 37-yard line, I believe, of the Clinton Central Bulldogs, as Eric Shyman trying to get this team started off. Ball handed off to the second man through. He's broke it, and he's on his way. And that is Ian Hayes, who takes a big gain for the Panthers. The ball down at about the 26-yard line of Clinton Central, as Ian Hayes, making a crossback play that we have all year, picks up 12 yards on that particular carry for the Panthers. First down, Knightstown, with 11:20 left to play in this third quarter of action here.
Rolling those dice because the kids need shoes.
Knightstown Panthers starting to make a move now, as they have done every week coming into the second half. We've always talked about the great attitude and conditioning that they have, and it's showing here tonight as Eric Shyman now starting to call the signals again. The defensive unit for Clinton Central a little out of sync as Shyman hands off on a broken handoff play, looked like, and stacked up at the line.
Drew Crawford on the carry for Knightstown.
Looks like Crawford might have got to the 25 pickup of 2.
Drew Crawford, what looked to be a broken play, was had the ball handed off to him when stacked up at the line, but Drew still digging in for a couple of yards. The ball now at about the 25-yard line of the Clinton Central Bulldogs, as with 10:32 in this third quarter and counting, a 2nd and 9 situation facing the Knightstown Panthers here, as Ritchie comes wide left. We're working out of a slot formation long count again as the ball is handed to Ryan Johnson. He breaks upfield, is into the secondary, and has picked up some very valuable yardage, almost down to the 11-yard line of the Clinton Central Bulldogs. Ryan Johnson going over the right side, cutting back to his left, and picking up some very valuable yardage out there. I pick up a 21 yards that time for Ryan Johnson as he does what he has done best all year, pick up a first down and really do some nice running.
Oh, Sookie now. Here we go.
10 minutes and counting into this third quarter as Eric Scheinman really looks over the defensive setup, takes a long time getting set and calling signals, hands off to Johnson again as Johnson picks up possibly 3 yards on the play, is keyed on but still able to pick up the yardage. He was hit that time by Bart Cole for the Bulldogs, a senior, 5'10", 190 pounds, and Ryan Johnson able to pick up some very good yardage there.
Well, this is something that we've talked about all season. Ryan Johnson hits that hole so quickly that he's got a full head of steam before he can even get started, before the defense can even find him, and he hits that hole, and before you know it, he's gone. Now we've got an official's timeout as it looks like possibly Travis Rivers having some equipment problem. They've got him fitted.
Drew Crawford really playing a heads-up football, saw the situation that time on the equipment problem for Travis Rivers and went and got the referee's attention so they could get it adjusted. So now the Knightstown Panthers set here.
Second and 6.
On a 2nd and 6 situation, getting ready for the snap. Scheinman on another long count, hands off again to Ryan Johnson. Cuts back from the right side to his left and picks up absolutely nothing. They're keying now on Johnson as he has run that football quite consistently the last 2 or 3 times.
Well, you hate to get this close and come away empty. Knightstown can still get a first down at the 2-yard line, but that time good pursuit by Clinton Central as they broke through the right side of the line, and Johnson had absolutely nowhere to go. So it brings up a 3rd and 7 as Scheinman takes the play back to the huddle. As we said, they need to get to the 2 to get the first down, or actually 7 more, and they've gotten 6.
So the Clinton Central Bulldogs packing it in now and making an adjustment themselves as Eric Scheinman gets the Knightstown offensive unit set, calling the signals, working out of a slot formation. Scheinman rolling to his left with the football, is grabbed, and the football is fumbled, and I believe that the Clinton Central Bulldogs will be taking over the football on about the 15-yard line of Clinton Central.
Now they're going to say Knightstown football.
Lucky us, because Scheinman was not down on that play when that ball came loose. So
that was a fumble.
Clinton Central getting the brunt of an official call there as the ball is on the about the 15.5-yard line as Knightstown getting a break that time, even though it is 4th and 13 with 7:45 left and the clock ticking in this third quarter of action. Craig Ritchie going way wide to his right as Johnson is the lone setback, and Scheinman, seeing something that he didn't agree with, calls timeout.
Well, Knightstown not looking good in the last 2 plays as Johnson hit the hole, didn't have a full head of steam, and on the roll to the left side on the sweep, Eric Scheinman ran out of real estate, and they sacked him, and very, very fortunate to still have the football because he was not down when the ball popped loose, although they say the ground caused the fumble. But Knightstown still maintaining possession, the ball sitting on the 15.5. It's 4th and 13 for a first down, and 4th and 15 for 6 points, and that's easier said than done against a very stingy Clinton Central Bulldog defense.
You're absolutely right. Clinton Central has not given up anything tonight against the Panthers on the run, so Knightstown going to have to naturally go to the air on this 4th and 13 situation here as Coach Willard gets in there and gets the information that he wants to his troops as Scheinman now coming up to the line very slowly and talking out there with Drew Crawford on his way up to the center as he takes a long look at the defensive setup that's being thrown against him. Long signal count again as Scheinman comes right, fakes a pass to the right flat, now throws one out long. Ritchie's got it! Touchdown! Craig Ritchie gets the touchdown for the Knightstown Panthers. A 12-yard pass play from Scheinman to Ritchie. as the Knightstown Panthers finally draw blood here with 7:27 left to play in this third quarter.
How many fourth down opportunities have you seen Knightstown convert on this season? Last week we saw 4th and 1. Drew Crawford scampers for 38 yards on a 4th and 1 for a score. Here they connect on a 4th and 12.
Knightstown getting ready now for the extra point as Shyman getting ready to hold and Josh Plank getting ready to kick that football. The Clinton Central defense packing it in. A high snap. The ball's down. It is up and it is blocked by Clinton Central. So, Knightstown drawing first blood here with the 6 points on a pass play of 12 yards from Shyman to Ritchie. And again, a very, very cool Eric Shyman out there. Been run out of the pocket a lot this evening, but pump faked the first pass and then finally went with his first thoughts to Craig Ritchie on the right side for the 6-point conversion.
Got to give a lot of credit to Craig Ritchie. That pass was underthrown, and Ritchie came back to the football, still had enough distance into the goal line, and we said they needed 15 for the score. So Knightstown draws first blood 6-0.
And Craig Ritchie was covered very well out there on that particular pass play by the secondary of the Bulldogs. So Craig Ritchie really playing with a cool head out there and not letting the footsteps bother him because he had to know they were there.
Well, Knightstown's done a good job all season long of going to Ritchie. Now back to receiver Robbie Petrie. We said they need to get to the 2 to get the first down, or actually 7 more, and they've got 6.
So the Clinton Central Bulldogs packing it in now and making an adjustment themselves as Eric Shyman gets the Knightstown offensive unit set, calling the signals, working out of a slot formation. Shyman rolling to his left with the football, is grabbed, and the football is fumbled. And I believe that the Clinton Central Bulldogs will be taking over the football on about the 15-yard line of Clinton Central.
Now they're going to say Knightstown football.
Lucky us, because Shyman was not down on that play when that ball came loose. So
that was a fumble.
Clinton Central getting the brunt of an official call there as the ball is on the about the 15.5-yard line as Knightstown getting a break that time, even though it is 4th and 13 with 7:45 left and the clock ticking in this third quarter of action. Craig Ritchie going way wide to his right as Johnson is the lone setback, and Shyman, seeing something that he didn't agree with, calls timeout.
Well, Knightstown not looking good in the last 2 plays as Johnson hit the hole, didn't have a full head of steam, and on the roll to the left side on the sweep, Eric Shyman ran out of real estate, and they sacked him, and very, very fortunate to still have the football because he was not down when the ball popped loose, although they say the ground caused the fumble. But Knightstown still maintaining possession. The ball sitting on the 15.5. It's 4th and 13 for a first down and 4th and 15 for 6 points. And that's easier said than done against a very stingy Clinton Central Bulldog defense.
You're absolutely right. Clinton Central has not given up anything tonight against the Panthers on the run. So Knightstown going to have to naturally go to the air on this 4th and 13 situation here as Coach Willard gets in there and gets the information that he wants to his troops as Shyman now coming up to the line very slowly and talking out there with Drew Crawford on his way up to the center as he takes a long look at the defensive setup that's being thrown against him. Long signal count again as Shyman comes right, fakes a pass to the right flat, now throws one out long.
Ritchie's got it! Touchdown!
Craig Ritchie gets the touchdown for the Knightstown Panthers. A 12-yard pass play from Shyman to Ritchie. As the Knightstown Panthers finally draw blood here with 7:27 left to play in this third quarter.
How many fourth down opportunities have you seen Knightstown convert on this season? Last week we saw 4th and 1. Drew Crawford scampers for 38 yards on a 4th and 1 for a score. Here they connect on a 4th and 12.
Knightstown getting ready now for the extra point as Shyman getting ready to hold and Josh Plank getting ready to kick that football. The Clinton Central defense packing it in. A high snap. The ball's down. It is up and it is blocked by Clinton Central. So, Knightstown drawing first blood here with the 6 points on a pass play of 12 yards from Scheinman to Ritchie. And again, a very, very cool Eric Scheinman out there. Been run out of the pocket a lot this evening, but pump faked the first pass and then finally went with his first thoughts to Craig Ritchie on the right side for the 6-point conversion.
Got to give a lot of credit to Craig Ritchie. That pass was underthrown, and Ritchie came back to the football, still had enough distance into the goal line, and we said they needed 15 for the score. So Knightstown draws first blood 6-0.
And Craig Ritchie was covered very well out there on that particular pass play by the secondary of the Bulldogs. So Craig Ritchie really playing with a cool head out there and not letting the footsteps bother him because he had to know they were there.
Well, Knightstown's done a good job all season long of going to Ritchie. Now back to receiver Robbie Petrie. And also number 90, John Hodgson.
Getting ready to kick off, Kyle Rhodes, as Adam Bonowitz checks up and down the line, making sure everybody's set and is ready to go. Kyle Rhodes, playing in his senior year, comes to the football, kicks a good one into Hodgson. As he takes the football, starts bringing it upfield, has broken it open now a little bit, has found some running room, but is finally brought down. He only had a couple of people to beat, and he would have been on his horses. But Landon Collett making the stop out there for the Panthers.
That's the biggest gain on a kickoff this season against the Knightstown Panthers. Hodgson took the ball at about the 15, and he gets all the way up to the Clinton Central 47. So Knightstown's got to bear down right here. Cut him off at the knees right now and stop it.
Mike Gilbert getting ready to set the Bulldogs into action as the Knightstown defense digs in. Gilbert on a quick pitch out over the left side as the runner tries to turn it upfield. We have flags on the field. We have a clip, I believe, against the Bulldogs. So Knightstown may be in a fine situation here of a 15-yard loss for the Bulldogs, and that's exactly what we have got.
Yeah, I saw that. Number 34 looked like Austin Faulkner was the guilty party, and Coach Don Willard wants to mark this one off. So if this is the case, it's going to be a big one. That's a 15-yarder. That helps the cause immensely.
It certainly does. 7:14 left to play here in this third quarter of action, and Knightstown getting a big break there as a clip was the penalty call, and the ball is going to be at the 37-yard line of the Bulldogs.
First and 25.
Mike Gilbert once again now trying to set the offense into motion here. He's back looking to pass out to the left. Now he fakes it and then starts to run it. He cannot find anybody to go to, and he has run out of bounds on the north side of the field by Ben Brooks. Also out there, number 52, Joe Quiz, in on the action.
Jason Chapman also good pursuit of Gilbert. Gilbert had nobody to throw to, and that time the safety and the quarterbacks did their job as they had nobody open downfield. They force him out of bounds, although he picks up 5 yards and still 2nd and 20.
Well, Gilbert has to be stopped on that throwing, and that secondary is going to the receivers now for the Panthers as Gilbert calling the signals again. Hands off to the first man through, and he makes a pickup as Drew Crawford brings him down. Cannot tell the number out there.
Looks like Matt Gilbert.
As the ball is going to be at the 40-yard line of, at the 39-yard line of the Clinton Central Bulldogs.
Jason Chapman in on the stop for the Knightstown Panthers. Panthers on top 6-0. Clock shows 6:40 and counting here in the third.
Mike Gilbert trying to get up into a position to where they can get a first down, but he's got a lot of ground to cover here as he makes a pitch back, and the runner is caught at the 45-yard line by Craig Ritchie in on the stop that time. Pickup of 6 yards out there that time by the Bulldogs, but not enough to get them back into a position close enough for the first down, as with a 4th and 12 situation, they're going to have to put the ball up with 6:07 left to play in this third quarter.
Are they going to punt? Yeah, it looks like it. Craig Spray will kick for Clinton Central.
Don't want to give him too much room out there because it could be a fake. It's a good snap as it comes back, and the kick is away. Coming down, and a fair catch by Craig Ritchie at the 25-yard line of Knightstown. So Knightstown putting the ball back into play now after a fair catch is called by Craig Ritchie at their 25 with 5:51 left to play in the third quarter. Knightstown up 6-0.
Ben Brooks just shot into the backfield. And again, the up blocker, the last man before you get to the punter, was there. And Brooks hit him head on and knocked him at least 3 yards, almost into the punter. And his own man almost blocked the ball with the seat of his britches.
Well, Ben Brooks plays hard all the time out there when he's on that field, and he is hard as nails and nobody to mess with when it's time to play defense. Eric Scheinman now getting ready to make the offensive calls as Knightstown putting the ball into play. Hand off to Drew Crawford, and a nice fake again that time by Scheinman as the initial people through the line tried to get on him. A 3-yard pickup by Drew Crawford there as he was the first man through over the right side.
Well, very generous spot. They're going to give him 4 now, and we'll take it.
We like these officials.
Do not look the gift horse in the mouth.
5:29 and counting here on the clock in the third quarter. Knightstown up 6-0 as the ball is at the 29-yard line, I believe, of Knightstown, as Eric Scheinman starts to call the signals again with the packed-in defense of Clinton Central. As they pitch out is made to Ryan Johnson coming around the left side. Ryan opens up some running room and brings that ball down to about the 40-yard line, and a first down for the Knightstown Panthers. So Ryan Johnson finding some running room around the left side out there and doing what he does best, picking up 13 yards on the carry for the Panthers with the clock at 5:06. And the Panthers up 6-0 in the third quarter, and a first down situation.
What a great design play. Again, excellent pitch by Eric Scheinman, and that time Ryan Johnson had a full head of steam.
The ball looks to be at about the 43-yard line of Knightstown as the handoff is made to Johnson. He is through, Drew Crawford. Drew Crawford on the carry that time for the Panthers, picking up 5 yards. Drew Crawford going off the right side and just blasting ahead out there against these Clinton Central Bulldogs. Now the Bulldogs starting to look at each other and as if to say, hey, what's going on here? Well, they're facing this Knightstown conditioned unit that is to come out and ready to play ball. Craig Ritchie going wide to the right this side. Time we have 2 setbacks out there in Drew Crawford and Ryan Johnson. Long count this time. Handoff was made to Drew Crawford, who picks up 1 yard possibly on the carry. He had to step over the line, and they brought him down and brought him back.
Stop of the play that time by number 60, Travis Cochran, and he is on the bottom of the pile, still yet to get up along with Drew Crawford, and Crawford was all twisted and bent that time, but they give him a yard, brings up a third and a long 4.
4:08 and counting on the clock as Knightstown doing what they do best in the third quarter, scoring and also eating up a lot of valuable time out there. Knightstown again going set with Ritchie wide to the right, Crawford and Johnson in the backfield this time.
Big play.
Big play for the Panthers as Scheinman drops back looking to pass, and to the right flat throws the ball out, and it is underthrown.
Short-armed it.
Scheinman unable to get the pass out there to Craig Ritchie. Ritchie would have been open wide enough to make the reception, but the ball just wasn't there. So we've got a 4th and 5 situation here as the Knightstown Panthers are going to bring on their kicking unit and back deep for the Clinton Central Bulldogs. It looks to be Craig Spray, I believe, out there. I think that's who that is. No, Mike Gilbert, excuse me. Mike Gilbert back deep for the Bulldogs.
Gilbert's going to do it all.
There's a snap. Good kick away by Josh Plank as it takes a Knightstown bounce and goes out at about the 29-yard line. So the Bulldogs will be putting the ball into play at the 28-yard line of the Bulldogs with 3:37 left to play in this third quarter. Knightstown up 6-0.
You know, I still don't like how close Clinton Central is getting to Josh Plank on the punt. Every punt, they have been right there. Plank very, very lucky to get that one off.
He was. That young man jumping and almost got a hand on that football, so
2 wideouts this time for Central.
Ball is snapped, handoff to the first man through, and he is hit immediately at the 30-yard line. So Knightstown defensive unit coming to life there as Ben Brooks in on the stop for the Panthers that time. Along in there on the help for the Panthers, Nick Roush and Jason Chapman.
Ben Brooks has his 2nd tackle on the night. Knightstown a little stingy with that run, facing a 2nd and 9 now. Clock showing 3:12 and counting here in the third. Panthers on top by a slim margin of 6-0.
Mike Gilbert and the Bulldogs now trying to get some offensive action going here as the Knightstown Panthers dig in. 2 wideouts to the left as Gilbert makes a handoff to the right, and the ball carrier picking up about 4 yards that time. Matt Gilbert is hit out there by Rhodes for Knightstown, as Kyle Rhodes making a big stop out there for the Panthers. 3rd and 5 situation for the Bulldogs, as the crowd comes to life now and is wanting this defensive unit to really take it to the forefront and put the big stop on, as with 2:29 and counting, the Knightstown Panthers up 6-0 in this 3rd quarter of action here at the Knightstown Field. Mike Gilbert calling the signals, handing off to the second man through out there as he is hit and brought down. And I don't know, this is going to be very, very close, I think.
He's short. He's short by half a yard.
Well, I hope you're right, Mike York, but that looks very close out there to me, and it's close enough that we're going to measure.
That was Jason Lane on the carry.
No, I don't think so. And again, now I'm here. How far am I? 50 yards from the football?
I guess.
Okay, we'll see. And they're standing right over it. They have a perfect view. We'll see.
Let me really find out. Livingston,
Okay.
has he got it?
Nope, not
No
a
way.
chance.
Ah, well, Dave Livingston says no, so forget it, sports fans.
It's gospel
It's
if
in the
Dave
book.
says it.
See what happens here as the officials bring the chains out. There, it's down, and
Told you.
he's short.
Well, what do you know? Who'd have thunk it?
Thanks, Dave Livingston. I'm glad he could see that. He's got the worst vantage point of the three of us, and we sure didn't know. So.
He could feel it.
Yeah, I know. Dave just feels things
I know
like
it.
that.
I know it.
So,
He wouldn't say that if he heard you talking about his helmet.
the Bulldogs, with 2:04 left to play here in this 3rd quarter of action, are down to the Knightstown Panthers 6-0. And
Come on, boys.
We're going to go for it. So let's get it up for this Knightstown defensive unit, as Mike Gilbert and company are going to go for this first down, just 4th and inches. Gilbert calls timeout before he even gets set.
Well, this is a big play. That's probably a smart move by Gilbert. This is a very big play for Clinton Central. Knightstown digging in. The crowd was behind him. And I don't think Mike Gilbert knew exactly what he wanted to run. He saw something change on the defensive side, and he burns a timeout. That is their first of the second half. So both teams still have 2 remaining. Down to 1:59 on the clock. 6-0 Panthers on top. And this one has been everything that we had envisioned and more. And when you get to this level of football, you know the last 3 games are going to be your toughest, and that's the way that it should be.
Well, it absolutely should, and this Clinton Central Bulldog team is a team to be reckoned with, because everybody was the impression that Tri-West was just going to march right on through the situations, and all of a sudden last week hearts were stopped as Clinton Central Bulldogs pulled one out, and they played very good football.
You know, Tri-West hadn't been beat since 1995 until last week.
Well, Coach George Gilbert has been out there in those shirt sleeves, and now he jogs off the field. And if I was him, I'd be running 300 miles an hour, because I know he's got to be cold and needs to warm up a little bit, as Mike Gilbert, his son, gets ready to set the ball in motion. And there's the snap. We have a hard pitch out to the right and coming in, and I believe the first down was made for Clinton Central, but
Carrier for Clinton Central.
on the stop for the Knightstown Panthers,
Josh Plank
in on the stop, but
For the Panthers.
not before the first down is made by Clinton Central.
You saw that one coming. Nice pitch by Gilbert to his brother, Mark Gilbert, as he rambled around the right side. Needed 1, he got 5, so the drive continues.
So with the ball at the 44-yard line of the Bulldogs, Mike Gilbert, it looked like a fumble, but no, it was a completed handoff, and
Ball carrier Austin Faulkner.
Faulkner on the carry and is stopped out there by Ben Brooks on the stop for the Panthers. So Faulkner picking up a nice yardage there on what appeared to be a broken play, but now with the ball at about the 47-yard line of the Bulldogs, they are starting to pick up a little momentum here with 1:25 left to play in this 3rd quarter, and the clock is ticking down, but Knightstown in the lead, 6-0.
Got to stop right here. Another big defensive stance.
Mike Gilbert calling the signals now as he makes a pitch back, and it's going around left side, and the man cuts back to the right and makes a nice pickup of yardage just short of the first down there. Being stopped out there by Nick Roush, it looks like, and Roush shaken up on the play there as he is, Jason Chapman. Jason hit out there and immediately got up waving for somebody to come out on the field.
I think Jason's got a soft cast on his wrist, doesn't he?
I think that he does, yes. So Jason Chapman coming out and immediately going down to the knee. I think he's all right, but now with the ball at the Knightstown 48-yard line and the time 34 seconds, and the handoff is made, and another nice run by the Clinton Central Bulldogs as coming in on the stop. Ben Brooks finally getting in there along with Ian Hayes, but not until the first down is made by Clinton Central.
Well, I'll tell you what, Knightstown's giving up some awful big yardage at a clip here. They've given up 5, then 7, then 6, then 7. Knightstown's got to dig in. This one's got to stop right about here. The ball's on the 42. And Clinton Central starting to mount a little bit of steam here. Knightstown needs to let the air out before they get full-blown.
Clock ticking away. 17 seconds left to play in this third quarter. Knightstown up 6-0 as Mike Gilbert hurriedly now trying to get the play off and does. Handoff. No, he is on a keeper by Gilbert as he tries to turn the corner. And Ian Hayes puts a big grab on Mike Gilbert and takes him out of bounds, but not until Gilbert picks up some more valuable yardage for the Bulldogs.
That time Gilbert just outran Josh Plank. Plank had the angle, but could not catch up with him, and a much quicker Ian Hayes finally able to bring Gilbert down from behind, but not before he gets the first down all the way down to the Knightstown 30. With 4 seconds left, they're going to get one more shot at it in the third quarter.
Gilbert, very, very good quarterback out there again this evening we're facing as he is able to call the plays and call them very coolly out there as he hands off to the first man through and is popped by Ian Hayes again. Ian Hayes doing a big yeoman's job out there on defense, but still we're giving away valuable yardage to these Bulldogs. And that's the end of the third quarter of play with Knightstown up 6-0.
Let's take a 1-minute timeout, be back for the fourth.
Gilbert on a pitch out to one of his running backs, and they pick up the first down immediately going into this fourth quarter of action here. So Knightstown, the momentum has swung a little bit into the favor of the Bulldogs as Knightstown is going to have to buckle down and pick it up a notch.
Big Mo has definitely swung.
Looks like the ball is going to be placed at the 19-yard line of the Knightstown Panthers as Mike Gilbert and the Bulldogs have started to handily move the football against the defensive unit of the Knightstown Panthers.
Well, that extra point could come into play here.
Gilbert calling the signals and tries a quarterback sneak and immediately picks up 2 yards on the play.
Quarterback keeper up the middle.
Looks like in on the stop that time for the Panthers was Carmichael, as Carmichael getting some assistance on getting up out there, has had his third tackle of the evening, but once again, Mike Gilbert and this Bulldog unit handling moving this football. The Knightstown Panthers have got to dig in here. A 2nd and 7 situation out there now and getting close to smelling pay dirt. Gilbert. Oh, a great play that time by the Panthers as Gilbert got caught off guard, went down on his own, fell down, and lost 4 yards on the play. So Mike Gilbert, getting a little shaky out there with what he was seeing, tried to scamper back, slipped, and fell.
Well, Knightstown's got their back to the wall right now. That loss of play actually helps. Goes all the way back to about the 19, almost the 20. They'll spot it on the 20-yard line, but Knightstown's got their back to the wall facing a 3rd and 11. They cannot give up a big play right here.
No, they absolutely cannot. Big play coming up here. 3rd and 11, 10:48 and counting on the clock in this fourth quarter is Mike Gilbert getting things set and ready to go as the ball is snapped. Ball is handed off to the first man through.
Fumble, Knightstown's got it.
And Knightstown picks up the fumble. Joe Quiz picks up the fumble out there for the Panthers. Joe, who is one of the eloquent members of this Knightstown unit, who gets very emotional when he talks about what this season means to him and the Panthers over the loss of their classmate this year, just picks up a valuable fumble for those Panthers. So Knightstown, not in good field position, but they got the football on about their 14-yard line out there. Will put the ball into play with 10:36 on the clock and a lead of 6-0.
Need to pick up a couple of first downs and burn some clock right here.
Craig Ritchie coming wide to the right as the Knightstown Panthers try to pick up some yardage here. A long count this time by Shyman as he hands off to
Crawford.
Drew Crawford, who brings the ball up to about the 19-yard line of the Panthers. So Drew Crawford coming on the carry over the right side, picking up some valuable yardage of 6 yards that time. So possibly the clock-eating Panthers, as they have done in previous games in the second half, can maintain this football for a good period of time here.
I tell you what, I see some of the mothers of the players down here closing their eyes, saying some prayers, and I tell you what, we may need it before this one's over.
Well, we absolutely need it because Clinton Central Bulldogs are a good team, and they're for real. As Eric Scheinman gets ready to call the signals again, we got the lone wide set out as the handoff is made. Once again, to Drew Crawford going over the right side, and Drew Crawford picking up what looks like to be about 3 yards on the play out there. 1 yard on the play, as the ball is placed at the 21-yard line of the Knightstown Panthers. So a 3rd and 3 situation, long 3 facing the Panthers out there with 9:29 and counting on the clock, and Knightstown into a long huddle that time as they break and start to bring it back up to the line of scrimmage. Now hurriedly getting set, the Clinton Central defense, as we have got one wide receiver to the left side, a split-back situation. The ball is handed off to Ryan Johnson, and Ryan Johnson coming ahead and coming hard, picking up what I believe is the first down for the Knightstown Panthers.
No doubt. That's not even close.
Ryan Johnson doing what he can really do best, making the cutback on a run from the left side back to the right, picks up the first down for the Knightstown Panthers as the ball is being placed on the 25-yard line with 9:09 minutes and counting left on the clock, and Knightstown up 6-0 with a first down situation.
That was a big first down.
Going out of the T formation this time as Scheinman looks over the defensive unit once again. The signals are being called, the long count, the handoff to the first back through. Drew Crawford on the carry for the Panthers as Drew Crawford picks up 4 yards out there this time, and now the defensive unit of the Clinton Central Bulldogs a little bit upset over the situation that they are facing, because the Panthers now starting to move the football as they have, and it's catching them off guard.
Ian Hayes was the ball carrier instead of Crawford. That's okay. They're muddy. It's hard to tell.
Scheinman getting set again now as Knightstown looking very good out there on the carry of the football at the moment, as a long count once again, and the football is handed off this time to Drew Crawford, and Drew Crawford breaks well into the secondary and is up to the 45-yard line of a 16-yard pickup by Drew Crawford that time, as Drew Crawford just literally busts through, and again, great play by Eric Scheinman as he hands that ball off. Nobody knows who's got it.
Well, I apologize. I was trying to give you hand signals on the yardage here. My hand got my pencil tied up, and I'm giving you 97 yards and then 43, so
I'm glad you never taught Helen Keller.
That's right. She'd been bumping into stuff all day, wouldn't she?
Knightstown now starting to move the football. The ball at the 45-yard line of Knightstown, a 1st and 10 situation. 7:40 on the clock and counting as the Panthers now starting to come to life in this 4th quarter. Handoff to Ryan Johnson as he breaks behind Crawford, tries to make a good carry, but is picked up by 4 of those Clinton Central Bulldogs for a pickup of 2 yards. Drew Crawford leading the way that time for Johnson, but they collapsed in on him and just was able to pick up a 2-yard pickup.
Well, Ryan Johnson running the football very, very well. Knightstown picking up a couple of first downs that they needed. Got a little bit of breathing room. They're all the way up to the 47-yard line of Knightstown, and they need to eat some clock. It's down to 7:05. Panthers on top, 6-0.
2nd and 8 situation here as Eric Scheinman comes up quickly and gets set with the Knightstown Panthers. There's the snap. Look out into the right flat. It's a pass, a high pass, and it is broken up.
Where's the flag? Where's the flag?
Right there.
All right, soapbox time. Where's the flag?
No, it's not soapbox time. It's actual sports fans, because that defensive man had his hand on the side of Craig Ritchie.
What a horrible call. That was right in front of the sideline judge, and that was an obvious pass interference. No flag on the play. Oh, my gosh.
And Mike York's upset.
Good Lord. 3rd and 8, and that should have been a 1st and 10.
6:50 on that clock as the Knightstown Panthers haven't gotten excited about a situation like that all year, and they don't at this time as they bring it back up once again, packing it in tight now as Ritchie going wide to the left. We have the double setbacks of Johnson and Crawford Long count again this time as back comes Shyman. Indicates he's going to pass, but then hands off to Crawford, and Crawford picks up absolutely nothing on the particular carry that time. So a 4th and 8 situation facing the Knightstown Panthers with 6:34 left to play, and they'll be turning the ball over to the Clinton Central Bulldogs.
That should have been a 1st and 10 Knightstown, or they should have been facing a 2nd and something. That was an obvious passing situation, and Knightstown went to the air, didn't get the call, so they're going to have to give the football back to Clinton Central with 6:19 in play and counting here in the 4th quarter. And Knightstown a man short. Finally, Nick Roush comes in to get on the offensive line on the snap of the punt.
So Josh Plank back and ready for the signal count to start. There's a snap, a good snap this time. He gets the kick away and just barely, as it takes a Knightstown bounce down there, and Landon Collop in to cover the football up at about the 22-3-yard line of the Bulldogs.
Well, it's about that time.
Yeah, it is.
You ready to head down?
I'm ready.
All righty, we're going to send you down on the field with a microphone. Hopefully it's going to be for good news, as Knightstown gives the football back to Clinton Central with 5:56 to play, unable to sustain that drive after picking up 3 first downs in succession. So Lee's going to go down to the field and see if he can get some post-game comments. Hopefully it'll be from the winning Knightstown Panthers, but we are still 5 minutes and 56 seconds away from that happy jubilation. Mike Gilbert under center once again, studies the Knightstown defense, rolls to the right, handoff, it goes to Brother Mark. He turns the corner, and not before he's tripped up by Drew Crawford.
Gilbert on the carry for Clinton Central.
Gilbert got about 3, maybe 4 as he turned the right corner. And again, another very generous spot. They give him 5, so Crawford gets the tackle. Mark Gilbert gets 5 on a big, big play. And on the night, that's Drew Crawford's 5th solo tackle. Clock running at 5:30. Knightstown leads 6-0. Should they win this one, they will advance to the semi-state. And if the score from Rockville and Linton hold up, it'll be right here on Panthers Field. 2nd and 4, facing the Bulldogs. Here's the snap. It goes once again to the right side. Here's the rush. He goes out of bounds. He's going to be short of the first down marker.
Number 29, Jason Lane.
Jason Lane, the 1,600-yard plus running back for Clinton Central's run out of bounds short of the first down by about 2 yards. So it brings up a 3rd and 4. Actually, probably a 3rd and a long 3 facing Clinton Central. And they have been pretty successful on 3rd and short, so we'll see what happens. Out of the backfield will come Lane along with Mark Gilbert. Junior quarterback Mike Gilbert will be at the helm. Gilbert with the snap, goes to Brother Mark, puts his head down, bull straight ahead, and he's got enough for the first down. And it looked like certain score for Clinton Central before the fumble recovery by Joe Quiz with 10:36 to play. Knightstown kept the football for almost 5 minutes and 20 seconds before having to punt it back to the Bulldogs. And we've got a penalty against Clinton Central. That couldn't have come at a most opportune time, as they had the first down. We've got a motion penalty, and that's going to be a big one. And they'll mark it all the way back to the 25. Well, now, wait a minute. That was the official line of scrimmage, I believe. We'll wait and see. Now they'll put the ball down on the 25, so that's where the play will start from. Brings up at 3rd and 7 instead of 3rd and short. Once again, Gilbert will go up to the line of scrimmage. Lane and Brother Mark out of the backfield. Slot to the left. Here's Mike on a drop back. He's got a man in the open flat. Nice open field tackle on Jason Lane by number 29, Landon Collop. Collop comes up big as Lane only gets 2 yards, so it brings up a 4th and about 6 maybe. And Clinton Central now facing possibly their back to the wall as the clock is under 4.5 to play here in the ballgame in regulation. And without a doubt, Clinton Central is going to go for this one. Once again, Knightstown looking to receive, but the Bulldogs not going to punt. As Gilbert takes a snap, rolls to the right, slips, and it's out of bounds. Incomplete. Gilbert slipped on the pass. Never had a chance. Was about 5.5 yards short. Gilbert slipped, and Knightstown's going to take over 1st and 10 on the Clinton Central 25-yard line with 4:09 to play. Lee Stacey, are you down there?
Yeah, I'm down here.
Holy repeat of last week.
Yes, it really was. Landon Collop made a big play out there, and then that particular one. This field is a mess. Let me tell you, it's just a mud bog down here. Naturally, there is no good place to spot the ball. The referees are doing the best job they can getting it down, but it is an absolute mess.
What a big play by Knightstown that time, facing a 4th and possible 7, and Clinton Central comes up short. So Knightstown's got the football now at the Bulldog 25, and now the Panthers will call a timeout. And from here on out, Lee, I would imagine every play's got to be scrutinized. It's got to be a good one.
Well, as you noticed that time when all of the Panthers came up to the line, they all called timeout together, so they're really looking for things to happen down here.
Knightstown still got a timeout left here in the 4th. 4:09, Panthers on top, 6-0, and this one's been everything that we have built it up to be, just the way a regional championship should be. It's another barn burner. If you got faint of heart, you shouldn't be here because this one is way too close.
Well, that clock shows 4:09, and the Panthers up 6-0, and let me tell you, they have just played tough football all season. These kids want to win so bad that it hurts you to see them run into situations where they have a bad moment because they've just put their nose to the grindstone this year and done it all.
Yeah, this has been an almost flawless season for the Knightstown Panthers, and you'd hate for it to end on a sour note. But that's not the case right now. 1st and 10, Knightstown with a football on the Clinton Central 25. Clock shows 4:09 to play in the 4th quarter. Eric Scheinman, the quarterback for Knightstown. Crawford and Hayes in a slot. Second man through is Ryan Johnson, and he gets the ball down near the 20, down to about the 22, so pick up a 3 for Ryan Johnson.
That's all Ryan could do to hang on to that ball. Let me tell you, there was more ball than hand showing that time as he tried to take it into that line. It was just slippery.
You know Clinton Central is going to come a clawing trying to pry that ball loose to pick up a fumble. Right now, that's their best weapon, is to try to rip that ball away from the running backs. Pick up a 3 on the play, 2nd and 7 for the Panthers. Out of the tee now come Johnson, Hayes, and Crawford again. Plank will line up on the left side. Scheinman on a log count. Second man through is Crawford. He's got a block, and he breaks across the 20 down to the 19.
Crawford on the carry for the Panthers.
Great job out there by Ryan Johnson once again, getting a nice block in that couldn't be seen unless you were right down here, making it possible for Crawford to get that pick up.
Matt Gilbert on the stop, and this one's coming down to the wire. As we said, the clock down to 3:05. Knightstown looking to advance to the semi-state, and hopefully Linton is ahead of Rockville. We'll try to get a final score and update as soon as we hear, but we haven't heard as of yet. 3rd and 3 for Knightstown.
Well, this gives a whole different meaning down here at this angle, Mike.
I'll bet. Full house back set for Knightstown. Here's the snap. It goes to Johnson. Stutter stepped, and he is stopped. Stays on his feet. Fights for the first down, but I don't think he's going to be close.
Ryan Johnson, I don't believe is close out there. A real lunge by him trying to get that first down, but as you can see there by Drew Crawford indicating it's about a yard short.
Well, Johnson picks up 2 more to add to his total on the night. And Knightstown again looking sharp at 2:20 to play. And a 4th and 2, they say. And now they will call a timeout. And by my account, that's their last one of the ball game. In regulation, anyway.
The Knightstown Panthers unable to decide what they were going to go in with there at the time. Both Coach Stanley and Coach Willard out there, and finally the decision was made to take a regular timeout and talk it over. You're looking at a situation where it's 2:16 left to play. We're up 6-0, and it's a 4th down situation. And no matter what you do here, unless you turn that ball over, you're going to have the Bulldogs in bad field position.
Well, you know, I'm watching Eric Scheinman's mother, and I don't think she's got a fingernail left on her hand. She is gnawing up here.
I can tell you what, that lady can whistle. You know all the whistling that was going on? That was her earlier.
Well, must be a fingernail hung between the teeth because she doesn't have any on the hand, I can tell you that much. As Lee said, 2:16 to play in regulation. Knightstown on top 6-0. And should Clinton Central have scored on that last possession, that extra point or a 2-point conversion would have played huge in this ball game. As it was, Knightstown gets the fumble recovery by Joe Quiz.
Well, here we go, buddy.
4th and 2. Knightstown again needing 2 yards to sustain the drive and eat this time off the clock. Scheinman under Quiz. Barks, here's a pitch. It goes to Johnson. Fumble. Knightstown's got it, but Clinton Central's going to take over back at the 22. And Knightstown, now we've got some extracurricular activity, and the official steps in.
Central to take over, 1st and 10.
Clinton Central and Ryan Johnson met head-to-head, and Johnson lost that matchup, so Ryan Johnson a little distraught that he fumbled the football. Knightstown coming up short on the 4th and 2, so the possession goes back to Clinton Central. Now Knightstown's defense has got to dig in.
Well, I'm standing right down here by the 20.5-yard line as these Bulldogs bring it up, and let's see if these Panthers can do this defensive thing.
All right. Gilbert under center, rolls to the right, stops, plants, throws deep. He's got a receiver there, and it's good. It's caught, and the reception is made all the way out to the 44-yard line. And Ian Hayes takes and throws the receiver all the way across the benches, but he makes a tremendous play.
And we had a flag.
30 yards on the pass, and I'll bet it's going to be a personal foul against Knightstown, so they'll tack on 15 more, and it is. And I think that's a horrible call because Hayes was right there with him, shoved him out of bounds, and the receiver made it look a lot worse by jumping over the bench right in front of Clinton Central. Well, that's going to hurt.
That certainly is. Knightstown getting themselves into deep trouble here with only 2:03 left to play, as that type of a situation can flat take you out of it.
Well, with the penalty, a 43-yard gain for Clinton Central on one play, and they only used 7 seconds. Knightstown again needing a big defensive stance right here. They know Gilbert's going to come right at them. They'll move the chains, try to get set on the far side of the field. 6-0, Knightstown leads, but that's in jeopardy. Gilbert on a handoff, a quick pass across the middle, and he is planted by Craig Ritchie.
Oh, hello, sports fans. Craig Ritchie coming in there and making a big head knocker out of that one.
But not before he gets 5 more yards, and they'll move it down to the Knightstown 35. That's the kind of play that you dream about from a tackling standpoint, and Ritchie just speared it right between the numbers, but he picks up 5 more.
Clock counting, 1:40.
Clinton Central back to pass. Gilbert, it's complete and out of bounds. Once again, they're working the sidelines. Knightstown playing soft on the corners. That's been suspect, and that time the pass went over to, well, I can't even see what his number is. He's Samuddy.
But it's a first down no matter what his number is, as the Panthers here with the 1:31 left are starting to get themselves a little bit of a problem out here.
Well, they gained 43 yards in one play. Now they pick up 5 more. That last pass was complete to Craig Spray. 1st and 10, down to 1:30 to play. And Clinton Central is threatening from the Knightstown 23.5. Quick sweep, it goes to Matt Gilbert. He turns the corner and is knocked out of bounds near the 20-yard line. And it looked like Gilbert gets 5 more before being knocked out by Drew Crawford, but Knightstown's giving up awful big yardage here.
Well, they absolutely are. The Clinton Central Bulldogs are able to take that ball at the Panthers in this last series, and I'm afraid that penalty really swung the momentum.
Well, a lot of worried expressions on the Knightstown parents and fans right now. This one's not looking in Knightstown's favor. 1:25 to play. What looked like Knightstown might have things wrapped up has quickly turned around, and Clinton Central's got a head of steam, and they are threatening from the Knightstown 20. Roll to the right, inside handoff. Knightstown stuffs this one.
Jason Chapman just boomed in there and made the big stop that time for the Panthers.
For the Bulldogs.
Well, Knightstown again needs about 3 more of those. 3rd and 3 facing the Bulldogs. Clock running down to 1:09 and counting. Now everybody's starting to get nervous along with me.
This Knightstown coaching staff really going bonkers down here trying to get things ironed out.
This can be the season. We're under a minute to play. Central from the 19. This time they go to the right side, and he's across left tackle all the way down to the Knightstown 15. And Clinton Central is in pretty good position, Lee. I hate to say it. Stopped by Joe Quiz, and that's going to be enough for a first down.
49 seconds left to play, and it's come down to this, which could be the season for either one of these teams. Timeout there by Clinton Central now.
Holy jeez. 2 weeks in a row. I guess you wouldn't have wanted it any other way, but...
You know, this is pretty tough on old people.
You're not telling me anything I don't know, buddy. Well, some of the fans, some of the parents, I don't know. They look up at me, and people, I have no answer. The answer's right out on the field. It's in the form of defense.
Well, a 1st and 10 situation with 49 seconds left to play, and that's plenty of time. for this Clinton Central offensive unit to take it in, and they have moved that football well so far.
This is about the same exact position moments ago that Joe Quiz got a fumble recovery, and Lord, what we wouldn't give for one right now. Gilbert under center, takes a snap, looks to the right, over the middle. He's there, incomplete, and Clinton Central wanted a flag, and I tell you what, they might have had a legitimate complaint. Excellent play by Craig Ritchie as he hit the intended receiver, and it might have been just a little bit early.
Well, that's a possibility, but
that's an even call. That's what makes things even. On the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 15, and now the entire Knightstown football team that is not in the game all join hands on the sidelines. They're all kneeling. And boys, you better make it a good one.
Big play coming up, Mike.
2nd and 10, 44 seconds left. Gilbert on a roll, looks across the middle, has a receiver. Ian Hayes intercepts the football at the 5, down the 10, down the 20, 25, 30, 35, and tackles. Holy jumping Judas H.
Ian Hayes making the big play out there for the Panthers.
Ian Hayes on an interception on a sure touchdown from Clinton Central stops a score by the Bulldogs, and the Bulldogs are denied again. Oh my gosh, last week it was Adam Bonowitz. This week it's Ian Hayes.
Ian Hayes putting a big stop on him out there, and let me tell you, this entire Knightstown coaching staff going crazy at the moment.
It doesn't get any better than this, Dave.
No, it flat doesn't. Where are we right here on the yardage marker? I'm lost.
We are on the 40, exactly. Knightstown on their own 40. They'll drop to a knee. That's going to do it. Clinton Central may have one timeout left, and if they do, they're going to burn it in a hurry, but the clock is down to 22. Knightstown may have to run one more. It's 2nd down. They may not even have to snap the football.
It's
over.
What do you think?
It is over.
Hey, what about those guys? How about those Panthers?
Knightstown wins 6-0. They'll advance to the semi-state. Unbelievable. Ian Hayes steps in front of the intended receiver, gets an interception. Unbelievable. My goodness, and the fans flood the field. Lee, are you still in one piece?
Yeah, I'm right here. I just talked. Did you hear me talking with Coach?
Yes, I did. He couldn't hardly talk, could he?
That man is a little bit excited, let me tell you. I'm going to find Ian Hayes here and give him a talking to if I can find him.
Boy, I tell you what, this crowd is going nuts. They're going to the semi-state. Hopefully it's going to be right here at the Knightstown Panther Field. If not, we'll go wherever it takes us. Doesn't make any difference. 2 weeks in a row, it's a barn burner, Lee.
I know it is. It's been so great. These fans have been great. The team's just played absolutely tremendous football. If I can get over here to Ian, I'm going to get a hand on him.
Man, good luck. You're about to be
I got him right here. Hey, big guy, talk to me. How about that?
Man, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I saw it coming, and I got over as quick as I could, and it came right to me.
Did you see it all the way coming into you?
All the way.
I'll tell you what. Where are we going now, buddy?
We're going to semi-state, then state, and we're going to win it all, baby.
All right.
That's right.
Go.
That's right, buddy. Final score 6-0. We don't have a final on Rockville and Linton yet. If Linton wins, the game will be right here. If Rockville wins, we'll go on the road at last call. Linton was up 12-0, but we're still waiting for a final score.
It's going to be great, boys.
How you doing? How was it tonight out there?
Well, we got a little scared there at the end, you know. We pulled through. We stuck together. We got there right before Ian got that big interception. We said we stopped them last week. Everybody has their specific job. Ian stepped up. Good job by Ian Hayes.
Were these guys as tough as they looked? Was it ground conditions? What was it, Drew?
Well, they're a good team, man. I'll give all credit to them. They played us good. And they're just a good team in bad conditions. We just didn't start clicking until there at the end. We got the job done.
Well, I guess you heard we're going to play here again next week.
I don't know if this field's going to be able to take it after tonight.
It's a great game, buddy.
Oh, my.
Out there now, Ben Brooks. What do you think about this, buddy?
Oh, I love it. I'm so excited. Putting our hearts out.
Well, let me tell you something. We're going to play home next week. How about that?
Oh, we are really?
Yeah, we are, buddy.
Cool.
All right. Well, Ben's in his usual excited self. It's just cool that we're going to get to play here.
Well, this is the way it should be. We said, wouldn't that be something if we could play in the tournament 3 weeks in a row? And Knightstown is going to play for the semi-state championship right here on the Panther Field. Knightstown is now one game, count them, one game away from the state championship at the RCA Dome, buddy.
Hey, I got somebody here I want to talk to, Josh Plank. We're one game away, buddy.
Oh, yeah, man, it feels great.
I know it feels great. How did it feel down here tonight? Was the playing conditions the roughest you've seen all year?
Oh, yeah, it was tough playing out sloppy snow and mud.
Ask him about next week.
Getting footing and everything.
What do you think it's going to be like here next week? Because this is where we're going to play.
It's going to be sloppy next week, too.
And cold.
And cold.
Steps in front of the intended receiver, takes the interception away from a sure touchdown, what could have been a tying touchdown and possibly the go-ahead to deny Clinton Central. But you got to give Clinton Central their props. They came to play, and it was a good, outstanding team that faced Knightstown tonight. Unfortunately, it's a shame that anybody has to lose.
Well, I got somebody here that's really played cool, and that's nobody but Eric Scheinman. Eric, great game tonight, buddy.
Thanks a lot.
Well, you know, you got run out of the pocket a lot this evening. I think that their line got to our line quicker than any team that we faced, but you were still able to play with a cool head. You made a couple of pump fakes once or twice out there and got the ball still to the receiver. What do you think about this?
I knew that when I threw the ball, that ball was wet, and that was the hardest thing in the whole game is to throw a wet ball. But I still got it done. I don't know how. I guess the Lord is with me.
Ask him what it's going to be like next week when it's cold and wet.
What do you think it's going to be like next week when it's cold and wet, buddy?
Oh, it'll be just like this, except more snow.
But you know we're going to be playing here, don't you?
Yeah, I guess Clinton won.
All right. Well, how about these Knightstown fans? They've been behind you guys all the way, haven't they?
Oh, yeah, they're great. Best fans in the world. That's how we won that trophy.
All right. Well, that says it all from that young man. Let me see if I can find Coach here real quick. This game tonight.
They just keep winning. They just keep winning. We call it big plays at the end. Kids have a lot of heart. They never quit. I tell you, this is just some ride right now. This is fantastic.
Well, you know we're going to be playing here next week, don't you?
Another good one. We got the best fans in the world and the greatest community supporting this team. This is fantastic,
I'll
buddy.
tell you what, you've been a big key to this football program here. We want to thank you a bunch.
Well, this is great. This is what makes it worthwhile right here, buddy. Thank you, man.
Okay. Yourself, how about this one, buddy?
I'll tell you what. I knew we could beat these guys, but I knew it was going to be tough, and by God, it was tough. It ain't tough. That was a great team.
Well, they really were, and you know their offensive line got through us quicker than a lot of teams that I've seen.
They were quick. They weren't quite as big as some of the teams we played, but they were very quick. And I tell you, you talk about perseverance, staying in there, hanging tough. I still haven't seen Ian Hayes yet, but I'm going to hug him to death.
Well, let me tell you something. You know we're playing here next week.
That's great, boy. This is great. We're on our way. We're going. We're going to Dome.
Okay, buddy. Hey, you heard it from Coach. We're going to the Dome.
That's the first time I've ever heard him say it. It's got to feel great. He's got to be elated.
Well, I think that he is, and boy, this entire Knightstown fan base is. They're down here, and this is just one big party, let me tell you. Nobody but number 52, Mr. Quiz. How was it out here tonight, big guy?
This is the best night of my life today, but it's only going to get better, baby.
Well, let me tell you, playing conditions like this, you know, next week we're coming home again. What do you think of these Knightstown fans?
Love them. We got the best fans in the world out here. We probably fill up the Dome when we get there.
Well, I think we will. Are we planning on going there now?
Yeah, I got to mention one, though. We got fans from all schools coming around here. We got Tri-High people here. We got Eastern Hancock people here. Everybody's just coming out to support the area. I really like that. It shows a lot of class in different schools.
It really does. You know, we're rivals with these guys during the year, but when it comes down to either them winning or us winning, and they're not in it or we're not in it, we come out and watch them play.
That's right, sir.
How about these Knightstown Panthers?
Great!
Yes, it really is great. You know what's made it great is the coaching staff and the attitude of these kids this year. It's just been really tremendous.
Well, and the whole community, I tell you, it's just a whole team effort, the whole community and the kids and just parents, everybody.
Tell her to wave at me. I've never met her.
Well, Mike wants you to wave at him. He said he's never met you, so now maybe you've met. We'll get up there some night and you can talk. Hey, we're coming home next week.
Hey, wow.
Wow. Man, this is great. This is one of those feelings that you go home and dream about. You know, kids go through your entire high school career. You dream about playing for the state championship, and Knightstown is within one game of going to the RCA Dome and taking on another Class 1A rival. And, again, I'm not sure we want to see Hagerstown, but if that's the foe, that's who we will take on. So be it. Knightstown has conquered all that have come, and many have gone away without a win.
Well, I've got one more guy down here. I didn't really want to talk to him, but he's got a blanket, and I want to hug him a little bit. Yeah, I wanted to talk to him. Craig Ritchie, another super night tonight, big guy. Thank you. I'll tell you what, I know that this was real tough playing out here tonight, but next week should really be super because we're coming back home again.
Yeah, I think we've played every game so far in the tournament at home, and I think that's helped us a lot. I think we're going to come out next week. We're going to have one heck of a game because we're going to the Dome.
I'll tell you what, you guys have had a super attitude all year. You've been winners all the way on and off the field, and all we want to do is say thank you, and I hope you guys are really proud of this community getting behind you like that.
We are. Fans and community's great. I want to say thanks to WKPW. You guys are great, too, for covering every one of these games. Away games, wherever we go, you guys are there, and I appreciate it, and so is everybody out here.
Okay, buddy. Well, we'll see you next week, okay? Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Aaron Willard down here. Hey, how's Big Dad doing?
I think he's pretty happy. He's been liking all this winning stuff. I know he's pretty happy.
Pretty happy. That's an understatement. I tried to talk to him, and I'm taller than he is, and his feet wouldn't touch the ground.
He jumped pretty high there on that. He jumped pretty high there on that last play. I've never seen him do that before.
Oh, my.
Well, Aaron, what do you think Dad's chances are next week?
I think they got to be great. They're home again. They're playing well now. Got back on track after not a bad game last weekend, but, they played well this week, and there they go.
Well, Pops made a statement tonight that he hadn't made all year. When I was talking to him over there, he said, we're going to the Dome.
I think they're going to.
Hey, we'll see you out there.
Hey, I'll be there.
All right.
Well, let's wrap it up, I think, for us, unless you've got Don Scheinman on the horn. He looks like he's coming your way with a handful of goodies, but we got time to talk to him if you want to holler at him.
Okay. Hey, Eric's dad, how about tonight?
That was plumb exciting.
I'll tell you what, you and I are getting the age that we shouldn't have to put up with this kind of tension, 2 weeks in a row.
I'd sure like something like 24-0 with us ahead, and we just relaxed during one of these.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was tough going this evening. I think Clinton Central was really tough. They were a lot quicker than what we anticipated, I think.
They really hurt us in the second half, I thought, going around in the end, but we bent, but we didn't break, and we came up with some big plays to stop them. A big fumble there that Den recovered, and ultimately we came through just like we wanted to.
Well, we really did. I know you're worn out from running back and forth from the field to your vantage point from the stand, so we're coming home next week.
Yes, I'm sure we're at home. I think that's how the bracket goes. So we're at home, and I think if anything else, these close games may make you and I a little lightheaded and a little weary, but it sure keeps people coming back, hopefully.
I hate to tell you, Don, he's already lightheaded.
He said he hates to tell you, but I'm already lightheaded.
Well, that's the best I've heard anybody call him lately. But
oh, well, I'm being kind.
Hey, everybody should be here next week. It's an awesome environment, and I saw a friend of mine here tonight, and the first time he's been here because he's been out of town, and he said, unbelievable what this is like. So come back and support these kids. They're doing a great job.
No doubt.
Well, we've said all along, if you haven't seen these kids play, get out and watch them because they're absolutely everything we say they are.
But I think one thing, and having been a coach for many years, I think our coaching staff needs to get a lot of credit. They put in tons of time over the weekend. As soon as we win, they're back at it Saturday and Sunday looking at films and getting these kids ready. And all 5 of those coaches are doing a great job.
Well, they really are, and I'm glad you brought that up. And we'll see you out here next week. And I didn't know your wife could whistle like that.
I've always wanted her as an assistant coach. It's just for the whistling part.
We'll see you next week, buddy.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right. Well, Lee, that's going to wrap it up, I think, from the press box. Once again, Knightstown getting a huge win, 6-0 over Clinton Central. Their next opponent will be Linton, and all indications, unless something has changed that we don't know about, the ball game will be right here. Field's going to be in some kind of condition. It's going to be colder. They're calling for more snow. Makes no difference. We'll shovel if we have to. We've done it once. We'll do it again. Knightstown a big winner over Clinton Central tonight in the regional championship. The winners and the victors are the Knightstown Panthers.
Tell us a little bit about last week's game with Tri-West.
Okay, very good. Tri-West is an excellent football team. They are the most dominant force in Class A football in a decade, and we hit on all cylinders. Our game plan worked, and our kids played with incredible intensity at the beginning of the game. I think we kind of shocked them, and we were able to stay with our game plan the whole night and rack up some big numbers and have a great game.
You said that you've been talking about last week's game with Tri-West quite a bit, so we're not going to make you talk about that one. We'll kind of lead into this week's game. You guys come in, as we said, 9-3. You take on a very tough Knightstown Panther football squad who has yet to taste defeat this season at 12-0. What do you expect from Knightstown tonight?
Well, Knightstown, whenever you're 12-0, you've got to have a little luck and an awful lot of talent, and Coach Don Willard has that. We haven't seen anybody stop the off-tackle play all season long for Knightstown. That's been their dominant force, I think, and that fullback dive with number 32, I thought that was outstanding, and they got great receivers with number 16 and 15, and their quarterback he can do the job. I seen 43 came back and played healthy, and they're hitting on all cylinders. We're still, nobody's going to respect us. Everybody's going to think it's a fluke unless we have to beat the Knightstown team, and we'll just have to wait and see. We have a great football team. We lost 3 tough games in the middle of the season against outstanding teams. We could have gave up, and our kids have come back. We're just glad to be here at this point, and we'll look forward to play.
Coach, what about the emotional wave over last week's victory over Tri-West? Is that something that you really got to try to beef up to keep and continue for this week, or when you get to this level, do you even need any kind of stoking?
Well, we've never been to this level before, and we called a lot of state champion coaches, and we were going to forget this week and what to do with it, and everybody we talked to says you build for this week. You take that win, and you don't turn it out of your minds. You remember it. And I think we'll know in the first quarter if we're still thinking about Tri-West or if we're thinking about Knightstown. Our boys know Knightstown's a very solid football program with an incredible record, and we know we're in for a war against them. We're going to have to be able to do something with this field, and this field is going to be real tough for both teams to play on.
That was going to be my next question. If you had seen this field at 12:30 today, it was very questionable. They had snow blowers, plows, brooms, rakes, shovel, anything that you can imagine to be out here to clear this. I am absolutely amazed that it's this clear, but as you said, traction is going to be something that's going to be pretty tough. And what about the weather? It's starting to snow a little bit. It's cold. Is this classic football weather?
Well, I guess it is. I remember this since I've been in my college days, and that's too far back for me to remember. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take what Knightstown gives us offensively and play great defense. I think the team that plays the best defense tonight on this field is going to win the football game. And if you look statistically, Knightstown's played better defense than us all year. Although I don't know if they play the same people we do. We don't know about their foot speed because you can't grade foot speed and schedules off of film. We know our foot speed. We know the teams that we play's foot speed. And we haven't seen Knightstown in person. So it's going to be a heck of a battle. And maybe they overlooked us. And maybe they're preparing for the dome, and maybe we can sneak by them.
Okay, Coach. Well, good luck in tonight's game.
Thank you.
For them to do, or do they just come right back like normal?
No, we had a long talk Monday, and these kids have worked really hard this week. We had a good week of practice, and I'm anticipating that we're going to have a good game. We really haven't played all that well the last couple of weeks. I don't think, and we're looking forward to getting a good game out of these guys tonight, and coming back here maybe next week if things work out and play another one.
Well, I sure hope we do. Everybody healthy and ready to go this evening?
We're healthy. Everybody's ready, and let the show begin. That's kind of where we are right now.
Okay. Indiana Soldiers and Sailors Children's Home right here in Knightstown. And without Jennifer, we would not be on the air, and as always, anticipate a very good game from her. Well, let's talk about football. What do you think? It's football weather. If you had seen this field at 12:30, you would have not have thought the game would have played.
Well, that's absolutely right. I guess they were out here with shovels and rakes and whatever they could find trying to get this field in shape. And as I was telling the Clinton Central coaching staff over there earlier, I said, this looks like AstroTurf compared to what it looked like around 12:30, 1 o'clock this afternoon.
Well, let's send out a big thank you to one of our fine sponsors, too, the Knightstown Elevator Incorporated, as they brought a tractor and a snowplow out here